trying a different. Oh, whoa! What the hell was that?
The fuck was that? There's a semi truck backing up.
I just got a notification on my phone that we were live, and it's my phone, and so.
Oh, that's excellent.
Well, I'm gonna make a post on the Facebook, real quick. So we have it. I'm gonna click on the link. Blah 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 blah.
All messed up. Sorry, I can't even see my monitor or my camera. But you guys say I'm there, right?
Hey, Armani, how are you?
Yeah, you are.
Sweet.
Oh Lord.
So we got this, and that, and this.
I was sitting here jamming out to Fleetwood Mac and everything, and all of a sudden my Skype goes off. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, wait, what's happening right now?
Copy. All right, just give me a second to make this post on the Facebook, and then it can be shared.
I wish I could uninstall it and reinstall it. God's sakes, downloads and updates.
Skype is a pain, and yes. I really do think that we're going to end up switching.
Yeah, this is bad.
To that,
there has to be another. There has to be another vocal form we can use.
Oh yeah, well that get vocal we use. Remember?
Yeah, but works. We can't. Yeah, but we can't have like more than 4 people.
Yeah, we can. Well, they won't be able to see them. You just hear them through one of us. Like they'll hear. Like I'll make a Skype call, and they'll have to go through Skype. But if they want to be in the video, they can do it through Get Vocal. But you have to do it through your Google browser. And it's software, so you do have to be careful of that. You know how software can be. But you do have it. That makes sense?
Yeah.
It worked when we did the movie review.
Yeah, I actually didn't listen to it.
Oh, it worked out okay. I mean, the podcast is going to sound great. Because
no, I mean, like I didn't know if we could go back and rewatch the link or anything.
That I don't know. I don't know. Share on your timeline. Okay. So, show's live. I am finished making the Facebook post on the Behind the Iron Throne page. So if you want to share that. Oh, there's John.
Oh, that camera rough, bro. That camera rough.
He's dark. He doesn't have any. I guess he doesn't. They don't have lights in Canada.
I mean,
am I
showing dark?
Rough.
Yeah.
1 second. Let me get my lamp because it's middle of the day. That's why I figured I'd have some light.
That camera rough.
You do have some light, that's for sure.
What up, everybody?
Season 8 trailer, right? Okay. Include original. And it is now posted.
That should be better.
Oh, it's much better.
Why can't I see any of your guys' cameras?
I don't know, but everyone can see you, and that's what matters.
I can't see any of you. I don't know. This is fucked up.
That's okay. When you're done, just update your Skype, and it should be better. In the meantime, we'll do a audio check while Trin is coming back.
I need a new computer. That's what I need.
Yeah.
Do they have that technology in Canada?
Can you message in Skype? Can you message in Skype okay to Trin? Thank you. Open with GarageBand. I wanted to play something fun, like a little musical thing I did, but if I do that, then YouTube will instantly tell me that we cannot have this video live anymore. Fucking YouTube. I wanted to play clips from the trailer, but every time we play any video, we get shut down for copyright, which is very, very frustrating. Because we're not trying to play anything illegal. We're just trying to go over what we saw in the trailer.
Yeah.
Well, my question is, how do other
I don't know.
YouTube videos get away with it?
They don't. And if they maybe it has something to do with some setting I have, but I've asked other YouTubers and they say, "Oh, well, you can only play a 5-second clip." And I do that and we still get shut down.
What the hell are you going to do in 5 seconds?
I think there's also I think you can play it without audio, or am I wrong? Because I watch other YouTube stuff on Game of
Me
Thrones,
too,
and they
and they
show
have it.
clips.
And they turn
I'm
off the audio you're talking about.
They might. I think
Not
so.
always.
Some of them turn off the. I don't know how it works. It's fucked up. YouTube is fucked up. Okay, let's.
It is. And if I found another place we could do this with the kind of technology and the scope that we need, I would. Like people say, "Oh, Vimeo." Vimeo's a pain in the ass.
There's no reach as much as YouTube for
No,
Vimeo.
and Vimeo.
Not the reach isn't there like YouTube.
Not only that, but if you want Vimeo to work, you got to pay.
Yeah.
You know, which I have that Mevo camera. Is what we're using. You know, for the live show, and it's owned by Vimeo now. The company's owned by Vimeo now, and if you want to have like the lower thirds and all the fancy shit that you can do for free with Open Broadcaster, you got to pay a monthly subscription fee. Now, the entry level one isn't that expensive, but you know it's an extra cost on top of everything else. Where I guess I could, if I with a little bit of workaround, I could do it for free using Open Broadcaster. There's ways around it. I just
What about TikTok? Is that only for musical stuff?
I don't know. I don't even know what the hell that is.
I don't know. I keep seeing things for it on like my my Tumblr feed and stuff. I don't know. I'm not hip to the young crowd stuff.
You got to be hip to be square.
I'm definitely not hip to be square. Definitely not. Huey Lewis did not impart that wisdom on me.
No. Well, right now my house heater just kicked on, so I got to wait for that to stop. I got to find a way to dampen that noise. Like you hear it when I talk.
Chris, you know those things? You remember back in like the early 19th century when they used to have those dividers where women would go behind and like dress?
Yeah.
What if you could get one of those and like put sound padding on the opposite side of it? Not, you know what I mean? Like that way you can like kind of close it off and then you can fold it up and put it away, and it's not like always in the way of when you're not recording.
Wouldn't the sound just go over that though?
Well, some of it would, yeah, because sound goes in all kinds of different directions. But it would help. What I was going to do is I have a stand, and the stand is like it's like a rack. And what you do is you use this rack as a backdrop for either white or a green screen. And the cloth that you use is actually pretty thick and substantial. And I used to use it in some of my YouTube videos, in the T-Nerd stuff. I may end up setting that up in front of it to kind of help dampen that sound. And I even thought about kind of enclosing the rest of the front of the studio area here to kind of help with that. Because I do share the I miss the old studio. I really do.
That was the worst typing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, I miss the old studio because that was up on the 4th floor of my old house, and I didn't have to worry about, my son is upstairs sometimes and he's kicking his feet and banging around, and that can be quite distracting, especially when I'm doing like video boxing reviews and stuff like that. So what we're doing now is I'm just waiting for Trin to come back. Trin is working on updating her Skype real quick. There's always technical problems right before the show. And we'll be ready to rock and roll. We're going to be discussing the Game of Thrones Season 8 trailer, which has a lot of really awesome stuff in it.
Oh, yeah. I cannot wait.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to look and see what was added. I was trying to keep it as simple as possible. Oh, there was only a few things that were added. Oh, yeah, I did miss that. How's everyone doing this Sunday?
Good.
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 The typical Sunday for me. Just relaxing.
Yeah.
I was supposed to see Captain Marvel today.
You didn't? Are you going to go see it?
I'm gonna see it tomorrow. Like I had my advance tickets, and then it's like Saturday. I totally forgot. I'm like, oh shit, we got the podcast on Sunday. I'm like, shit. So I was like, oh, you know what? I just bought another ticket for Monday, so it's okay. I don't want to miss this episode.
Were
I
you
gotta
able,
see it Monday. Huh?
were you able to cancel the ticket?
No, I just gave it to a friend.
I figured you went and saw it Friday night.
No,
I would have
work
figured you
Friday
went
night.
Thursday.
No, I work. I wait till the weekend.
I hear good things.
I heard it was great, so I
Yeah,
always have.
the only people bitching are, you know, because it's a woman. That's why.
Why do people
She
bitch
can't
about
be
that?
Captain.
I don't know. I have high expectations for every Marvel movie, so when I go into it, I'm never disappointed.
Oh, that's good. I still can't believe this is the end. Season 8 and Avengers.
Yeah, in the same week.
Yeah.
Well, actually, from what I heard, I saw online, the Battle of Winterfell is going to be the same week as the Avengers.
Ouch.
Episode 3 is a Battle of Winter. So I heard. I'm not sure.
That's going to be a lot of emotion in one weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got going on in the live chat because I have missed
Nothing really. Nobody's really.
We might be able to see that movie Sunday, Chris.
Which movie on Sunday? Make sure this is all working here.
Avengers, because there's gonna be a long gap in between.
Oh, you mean when is it going
Avengers is the same weekend as the con.
on? Oh,
And
is there a movie theater near the con?
We can go into Columbus because the thing is, there's gonna be a large, like, I would say, like, a few hours in between, like, the last thing on Sunday and then the screening.
Well, here's the thing. The movie comes out that weekend, right? Well, Saturday night, what's the last thing that happens at the con?
We'll have to check the schedule.
Yeah, because if it's something, I'll just go
It's
Saturday
either
night.
It's either the musical or it's
She's
can't remember
back.
what it is,
Yay!
but Trin might know, but I'm not sure.
What's the question?
We were talking
What's
about
up?
seeing Avengers at where we were at the con after one of the nights before I leave. So we were trying to figure out what the schedule was Saturday night.
I'm saying-
Avengers came out earlier.
No, it's the
In that
same
week. Is
weekend.
it the
I'm
same
pretty sure it's the
weekend?
same weekend. I can double check. I'm pretty sure it's the same weekend because it was the same weekend last year, and they moved it up. I was like, God, like I'm seeing it when I get the day after I get back, Tuesday. I'm seeing it. But I'm saying because Sunday there's gonna be like a large gap in between the last thing. Like let's say if the last thing's like 1 o'clock and then the screening or something is like at 7. There's gonna be a large few hours there. So I don't know.
What I don't understand is why this is not fixed. I like YouTube, but YouTube is starting to piss me off too. Not as bad as Facebook though, that's for sure. Because it changed my titles.
It's still showing episode 202 season
Right.
8 trailer review to me.
Is it?
For me, it is.
Hold on. Live. All right, so. Oh, so it is working right. I'm looking at the wrong thing here. Crap. All right, so you're still seeing the same thing?
Yeah, I still see what's up, Biggie? Yeah, I'm seeing episode 202 season 8 trailer review.
All right, I gotta fix that. No, that's okay. I gotta fix something.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one you want.
Yeah, I went to fix something else, and it was showing up the wrong thing. So, shite balls. All right.
What's wrong with my hair?
All right, so you're
Hassan?
still seeing the same thing?
Yeah, I still see
Okay. I'm just waiting for this heater to shut off. In the meantime, let's do mic checks real quick. Glad to have everyone with us live. We got Armani, we got Big E up in this song, bitch.
What's up, guys?
Anyone else is in, say hello.
When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, John, give me a mic check, please.
Check 1 2 1 2.
All right, good. Julie, give me a mic check, please.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check.
Okay, and Trin, give me a mic check.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
All right, good. Julie and John, try not to kill each other on the episode. Please. Do not rip each other's heads off. Did anyone listen to the last episode?
I did.
No,
Had the pod-
I was afraid
Yes.
to.
How did it sound audio-wise? Was it okay? Pretty good?
Yeah, it sounded great audio wise.
good.
It was a lot of
We'll say passion?
it was a lot of
Wow, Trin. Wow.
interruptions. People were interrupting. Yeah. Cool though.
It's okay. We're going to fix that. We're already fixed. We're fixed
Perfect.
like a spayed and neutered cat or dog.
So random.
Yeah, it's pretty random. And March 10th. March 10th. All right. John, make sure you plug Ice and Fire Con tonight, or when I do your intro, okay?
Okay, sweet.
And make sure you tell people to use the Thronies code. I'm just waiting for this heater to stop. It feels like I'm watching paint dry. And come on. All right, who's live?
Come in.
Top chat. Alrighty. I can't see who's live. Participants. Okay, we got Big E. Only Big E's here.
No, we got a couple people up in here. They're not all talking, but we got a couple people. They'll probably get more interactive. Once
Okay.
we start
Or they
rolling
could
here.
just be watching and they're not logged in to make comments.
They
which
could
is-
do that too.
Which is fine. That's okay. It happens.
We're just happy that you're here.
Yes, we are happy. Can everyone see the video okay? Everyone tuning in live?
Hashtag Thronies.
Beat it. Like it looks good on my end. Everyone can see it. I haven't seen Mama Cheryl pop in yet.
Maybe she's like surprised that we're.
I think a lot of
recording it.
people are surprised.
I was surprised.
Oh, by the way, next Saturday, I don't know who's free for Batman vs Superman
Oh, I'm free.
Nerd Theater. That's the one we're doing next, right?
Oh Jesus
Oh,
Christ!
I'm free for this. I already got notes and every. I've been waiting for this.
Hi, Mag.
Since you said it last week, I've been waiting for this.
Mag, what's up?
So,
Are you going to join us that Saturday, Trent? Is that an episode you're interested in doing?
Which one? Batman what?
Batman vs Superman next Saturday night?
Dawn of Justice.
It's possible.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nope.
because I don't
Remember,
think
only a
that
half.
might work.
Remember only a half a bottle of wine next Saturday.
Oh
only.
no, I found a new thing to drink. It's the hard seltzer.
Oh snap!
In the little
girl.
cans. It's like 2 carbs
Yep.
and only like 100 calories. And I
So
had one
good.
last night and it was like, this is great. Little ruby red,
Yo,
grapefruit.
they're really good to go along with the keto diet
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it's perfect.
That's what
Like
I'm
you can get
doing.
drunk and
Yeah.
have bad breath all at the same time.
Yeah, I lost 13 pounds in the last month. on
Oh,
the
that's
keto
awesome.
diet,
Yo,
so-
I made for my mom and I keto
5 more Sundays.
cauliflower bacon mac and cheese without the mac.
Oh, nice.
It was so good. Instead of using regular pork bacon, we used turkey bacon because it's leaner.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was so good. It was fantastic.
I'll swear by that diet.
It's great. I feel like I have more energy. The more I've eaten
Yeah.
on it, and the more stuff that plus it's also given me a love back to cooking, which I kind of lost for a little while. And I just feel like I have so much more energy and I'm sleeping better. I just feel
Okay.
better.
Yeah.
That's good. That's important.
I eat 3 meals a day.
What do you do?
I eat 3 meals a day.
3 meals a day.
Yep.
I have work, so I'll have to drop out in a bit and watch later. No problem, Mag.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're going to start here.
I just eat 3 meals a day and try to eat as healthy as possible, like I did before.
I haven't been eating the same. I mean, it's been a lot of liquid drinks.
Cause I remember like a few years ago I lost a lot of weight, and then I gained a little bit back, and now I'm trying to lose it again. I don't know if you remember that.
I think it looks like you lost weight to me.
I probably have because I'm not eating that much. So, but not like I had before. There's a picture on my Instagram where I looked really, really small.
All right, maybe this will work. Turn off heater. Absolutely. No, that worked. Thank you. Yay! Siri did her job. Okay. Let's play the intro and get this party started.
When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die.
Warning, this podcast contains explicit language and spoilers. This is Behind the Iron Throne, your unofficial Game of Thrones podcast.
Well, hello. Welcome back to Behind the Iron Throne. Hashtag BTIT. This is episode 202, Season 8 trailer review. And it is March 10th, 2019. Holy smokes. Got a lot of great stuff to talk about. We're doing a bonus episode here. And we're actually recording this earlier in the day on Sunday at around, what are we at, 1:55 p.m. Eastern Time. So it's a real fun episode. It's a bonus episode. We're live at Behind the Iron Throne at... Nope, that's wrong. It's BehindTheIronThrone.tv. I can't get that right for some reason. But let me introduce my great panel of co-hosts. We have my sister, Julie Gray. Welcome to the show.
What's up, everybody?
Next up, we have the lovely and talented Dovahkiin. She speaks to dragons. Her name is Train. Welcome to the show, Train.
Hi, guys. We're super excited about this trailer.
Oh, boy, oh, boy. And, of course, the man of the hour. He is bald, and he is dangerous. He is the king of Dingaling. He is Lord Duckdarian, king of the Wicker people, Jonathan Stomos Starklover.
What's up, Chris? I'm so excited to do this special bonus episode, and I just want to thank you, Chris, for letting us record a bonus episode. When the trailer came out, I wanted to do an episode on it, and you were like, let's do it Sunday. So thank you for that. I also want to plug Ice and Fire Con 2019 is coming up in about just over a month. So if you guys still want tickets, just use our code Thronies and you'll get, I think, $5 off tickets. And it's a really fun con. So guys, check that out.
And for anybody who's watching today is the last day that they are holding rooms at the Deer Creek Lodge. As of tomorrow, their blocks open up. It's free to public. So there could be like other tourists and stuff that are going to be using those rooms. So if you need a room and you're kind of on the fence on whether or not you're going to go, you need to book right now. And if you're listening to this tomorrow, which will be Monday, then I'm sorry about that. But that's kind of one of the benefits of subscribing to our channel so that you get these kind of things, live and in real time.
That's right. I want to do a big shout out to Big E. Yay, Armani. Woohoo! Mag was here. I don't know if they're still here or not, but welcome. And, of course, Mama Cheryl. The whole team's here. And if you hop in live and you want to say something during the show, or if you just want us to read your name out loud, go ahead and say something in the chat, because this podcast is all about us, a community of Game of Thrones enthusiasts. All right, so let's start breaking down this trailer. I'm going to start off by saying that when this trailer came out, I got goosebumps and prickles all over my body. And that was even before I watched it. I was actually busy at the time, and all of a sudden I'm getting all these notifications from Behind the Iron Throne, from John, from Trin, from Julie, from God, from Jesus. These things popping up that, hey, look at this, hey, look at that, the trailer. And I thought, nah, no trailer. It's probably just another sneak peek bull crap. And no, it was the trailer. So I finally, I'm like, okay. So I got done what I was doing. And I'm already goosebumped and prickly. I'm like, oh, God, I can't wait to see it. And I almost wanted to get like a glass of wine and light a candle and play some ambient music in the background just to get ready, because it's been so long since we had an awesome trailer. And, with Season 8 being the last season, it's like I really wanted to be memorable. And I played the trailer, and I was like, wowee, holy cats. 90% of my predictions are going to be right. And the trailer says so. If you believe that, I'll sell you the Brooklyn Bridge.
Oh,
I'm always wrong, but it was a really awesome trailer. The way they did the cutscenes, the way they cut in between each character and in each little teaser that they were giving you, that little bit of, oh, look at this, oh, look at that, which we're going to break down in a second. But also the music. Game of Thrones has some of the best cinematography, music, uh, the way they do the costumes on any show I've ever watched. And the trailer, it was just was fantastic. I love how they did it. I don't know how your thoughts were on the trailer, John. If you agree or disagree with that.
man, I love the trailer. Goosebumps, man. I had goosebumps. I love the trailer. I watched it like 20 times in that one day alone. I mean, yeah, I agree with everything you said. The music was amazing, cinematography, the clips, the cuts, everything. They didn't show too much. They showed just enough to get you ready for the season. And shout out to Trin who posted it on Behind Iron Throne before I did, because I'm usually the one who breaks news here for Behind Iron Throne, and she beat me to it. So shout out to Trin.
I was actually out in the field. For those people who know what I do for a living, I was like out in the middle of the woods,
Secret
and
agent.
I got a notification on my phone, and I was like, "Oh, Game of Thrones." So I looked at it, and it was the trailer, and I was like, "Everybody, stop what you're doing! I gotta do this." and so that was pretty awesome. And then I blew up everybody's phones, like, "You guys, we got it! Oh my god, I can't believe it, we got it!"
That's awesome. Julie?
Yeah, I was like super duper excited because I wasn't sure what was coming because we had the teaser for all that stuff on Sunday. We were talking about it last episode, and there was a possibility that it was going to be revealed on Good Morning America the next morning. Possibility that the two young ladies would be on Good Morning America. They weren't, so we were kind of just like in the dark. And then all of a sudden, without warning, it just dropped. Like it wasn't the day we thought it was. It wasn't anything like that. And I literally, I had to watch it. I think I'm up to like 10 times watching it, and I'm more confused now than I was yet last Sunday when we were talking about what we think was coming, because everything I thought, I don't think so anymore. So it was like I was so confused. But of course, like the minute you hear the sound, the minute you see the throne, the minute you feel that excitement, it's only what, a minute and like 30 some seconds or something like that, or whatever it is. But it is like you get goosebumps because you're like, here it comes. And then you get kind of sad because you know it's coming to an end. So it's kind of bittersweet. It's happy and sad at the same time.
Very good point. Carrie, welcome to the show. She's in here live with us. BehindTheIronThrone.tv is how you can jump in here live. And remember, all you got to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel, and when we go live, you'll get a notification. Or subscribe to our Facebook pages, and we always post there as well, so you don't miss a live show, because it's a lot of fun to be here live, especially the pre- and post-shows. Pre-shows, we're just kind of getting set up. We're talking a bunch of crap. And on the post-show, usually when the real crazy arguments happen, not just about Game of Thrones, about all kinds of facets of life. It's amazing. Well, let's look at some of the scenes here from the trailer. Scene 1, Arya is running around Winterfell, and there's some clips of Davos in the battlements, clips of Varys, Gilly, and company in the crypts. But what do you guys think of Arya running around? Looks like she's distressed, sweat on her face, and we're in. It looks like to be the halls of Winterfell. At least I thought it was the halls of Winterfell. John, what did you take away from this particular part of the clip?
It could be Winterfell, it could be King's Landing, but more likely Winterfell. If Arya is running, it means something is like there's something fucked. Like if she doesn't run. She's running. It's because there's something coming. Like she's probably fighting like a walker or not a walker, one of the generals or something like that. So that's what I'm thinking. Because Arya's a badass. She's not scared of no one. I mean, she fought Brienne in a kind of a sparring duel. I mean, I don't think she's running, because if she's running, it's because maybe Winterfell's been taken. It's so crazy. So
well, if I'm not mistaken, 1 second, Joel. If I'm not mistaken, this is also Arya has a real creepy monologue, right, about death having many faces.
yeah,
And doesn't she have the cat's paw dagger?
I think that's one of those dragon ice is what's it called? I can't remember now. Is it dragon whatever blade that they have? I forget.
Dragon glass.
Dragon glass. Yeah, I think that was the dragon glass that she's pulling up because it didn't look like the Valyrian steel dagger that she has. That looks like dragon glass.
Okay, Julie.
It's a couple of things struck me. First and foremost, she is bloody. There is, if I'm not mistaken, she's gashing above her right eye or like right near her eye or whatever.
Yes.
And she's got a lot of she's got mud on her face too. So I can't just by watching her run through whatever hallway, I can't tell if it's Winterfell or not. I can't.
Trin, your screen is frozen.
I froze it on purpose.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
It just looks black on the screen.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
tell whether or not it is Winterfell or not. I have a feeling it might be. Her running in that could indicate a couple of things. It could mean that the battle, this could be either after the Battle of Winterfell, during the Battle of Winterfell, that we have rumors that is going to be. She could be running to notify somebody. I don't know. She also could be running through King's Landing, running through the castle, trying to get away from something. I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. Like, they gave you enough to wet your whistle, but not enough for you to be definitive of where it is and what she's doing legitimately.
What do you think, Trin?
Yeah, she also, I got a better look at this with some better software. And not only was she running, I was trying to show you guys like freeze frames of the video. She also has, it looks like a stab wound in her shoulder. So if you went back and you watch and you slow it down, if my software would work.
Is that in her left shoulder, Trin, or her right?
It's the same one that the same side as to her eye.
Okay, so whatever's
I guess
happening, it's coming over on the right-hand side. So she's got the gouge, she's got the blood coming from the right eye, and then you're saying there's a stab wound in her right shoulder.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, what really gets me there,
it's very
Trin.
dark.
Yeah, it's very dark. What really gets me is the look on her face in this one freeze
scared.
I'm looking at. Yeah, and like John had mentioned, Arya doesn't get scared of shit very easily at this point of her life. So with her running, I don't think that, because some people were in some of the forums I was reading said, oh, she just killed Cersei. I don't think so, unless the mountain was coming after her.
Now, let me ask this question. I'm going to ask it to all of you. Do you think, because what John just said, she doesn't get scared easily, and you agree, would she have that look on her face after encountering the mountain? Let's be honest. Like,
I would.
He's on her list.
If I had to guess what this is, it could be because we know based on we've done the previous episodes, we know Winterfell is gonna fall and they're gonna have to go to the south. So this could be the after the battle, like Winterfell's fallen, she's running away. But I don't think she'd be afraid of the mountain like that. I think that's like definitely like one of the generals or something.
Could be. Imagine if she just got lucky and killed one, and it was a really difficult battle, and now she's running like hell because there's more. Now,
Chris, do you think it would be like, it wouldn't just be like a regular White Walker? She would have had to, with all that that's going on.
Okay, maybe not one, but what if it was like 30 pushing their way through the hallway?
Yeah, like I'm agreeing with John on this one. I think it had to have been somebody of significance.
Well, do you remember when?
Walker of significance.
Do you guys remember when Mira was trying to pull Bran out of the under tree, the white tree, the weirwood tree, and the hold the door thing, and all the dead were like crawling on the walls and the ceiling. Now,
yeah,
I don't care how badass you are, and Biggie says something in the chat like this. You see that, and I am literally gonna drop shit. I am gonna be scared to death.
Yeah, but she's not gonna get away from that.
Well, I'm just saying, like, that could very well be what it is, but this definitely raises some interesting questions. I'm definitely curious to see.
But she's definitely running in that freeze frame that Trin showed us. She's got the cut. She's got, and now apparently she has a gouge in her chest. Her shoulder. I didn't even notice. She is definitely holding dragon glass in her hand. Correct? We're all in agreement on that one. Yes.
Yeah, that
That's
looks like
definite
Dragonglass.
dragon
Yeah.
glass, right?
Okay.
Also, uh, Sam, Gilly, Varys are in the crypts, so that's interesting.
And that's right after this running scene, right?
Is it right after, or is it like during the
I think
Arya's
it was
like?
before it, wasn't it?
Because we also see Davos on the battlements. So
I didn't in my notes. I kind of missed that myself. Well, if you guys want to make comments on that, before you do, I just want to say Big E. He has great for Game of Thrones. They didn't need the Super Bowl nor the Oscars to drop the trailer and break the internet. That's a very good
Truth.
point. Big E
Truth.
says, sweat, blood, and tears from Arya. If you see a group of whites or White Walkers coming at you, you alone, you're damn right you'd be scared like Arya.
Oh God,
Yeah. So Biggie had made a great point. I read in, I don't remember which major magazine put this out. I think a bunch of them put that out that the first 24 hours of the trailer had 81 million views. And
Wow.
season seven's trailer had 61 million views in their first 24 hours when they dropped their trailer. So like Game of Thrones had this record breaking, view count on their first 24 hours,
Wow.
and they broke their own record with season 8. So they are currently holding the record of the most views in the first 24 hours of any trailer dropped ever in the history of videos.
If you're Game of Thrones, you're HBO, you got to be thinking to yourself, we bottled lightning on this.
Right?
How are they ever going to do that again? And how could any show on TV expect to, I mean, you always want to do better, right? But how do you do that? That's incredible.
You can't.
That's
You
incredible.
absolutely cannot.
So I'm wondering something here. You got Varys, Gilly, Sam, and probably the non-fighters are in the crypts. I'm wondering. So that means they're being safe during the battle. But I'm wondering if there's and then we see Arya running. I wonder if there's a secret passage.
But wait
to
a
get
second.
out.
Wait a second. If we go back and we watch it from the start, because I just pulled it up, HBO logo goes, and then there's Arya, looking off in the distance. It looks like she's trying to catch her breath. She's blinking a lot and all that stuff. And then next thing, she starts running.
Yeah.
She starts taking off running.
She's really scared, like legitimately scared in that first second or 2 seconds.
She's freaked out, but then she's like, screw it, I gotta run. And that's a pretty big gash above her right eye. You really look, it's really big. I don't think, now that I really look at this, I don't think this is a battle with a White Walker.
You think the mountain then?
I think it's the mountain, because
That's what I was thinking.
She's not completely scared. She looks more not confused, but she looks more crap, what am I going to do? How do I get out?
Well,
and then next thing you know, she turns, and that's when she starts running.
Well, imagine this, right? The mountain isn't a White Walker, but he's not really alive or dead. He got stabbed. He got hit in the chest with that baseball bat spiky thing, remember, in season 7, and didn't even flinch, and no blood came out. Now, if Arya went down to kill Cersei, and whether or not she passed or failed, whatever, the mountain's there, and
Correct.
she has to fight him now. And she stabs him because she's really amazing as a fighter right now and an assassin. So she stabs him 100 times to his one slice across her forehead or wherever that gouges on her eye, and maybe hits her in the shoulder or whatever. But he doesn't fall like a normal person would fall.
Correct.
And she's like, oh shit, the dragon glass didn't work on him because he's not a White Walker.
But
so maybe now she's like, I gotta get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah, well, because if you go to the, I know this is going to sound really weird and we're going to really dissect it, but if you go to the 8-second mark of the trailer, when she's running, she turns back to look. Now, if White Walkers are coming after you, you're not turning back and looking, you're running, right?
I kind of okay. I want to throw a wrench in here again.
Throw the wrench.
Guys.
Let's wrench it.
And the reason is because remember how well, you weren't in that part of chat. Sorry about that, Julie. But I showed the guys I posted that we were going to go over the Entertainment Weekly pictures as well. And if you check out this picture right here, that was one of the I think last week.
Yes.
This is this is so much fan service for the Clegane Bowl. So I don't think that Arya is going to fight the mountain. I don't think that's her battle.
Yeah, because the way I think it, if she gets that gash, there's no way if the mountain hits Arya, it's just a gash. I'm sorry,
Right.
he's got way too much strength. Like he took one hand and smashed the guy's, face against the wall. He ripped another guy's head off.
Yeah, that's true.
Head off. Like there's no way a single blow to Arya, even if there's no way that's just causing a gash and a shoulder thing. There's gonna be more significant damage.
Biggie.
I mean, you're right, John, but I think, you got to remember the mountain is big, right? He's this big, bulky dude, and she's quick, and she can get around. So she may have been able to step out of specific attacks where the gouge would happen. Listen, I know we're trying to like dissect it and everything, but I think it's significant that Arya's part is the beginning of the trailer, and it goes on for what, like 10 seconds of the trailer? I think it's the most of all the trailer. She gets 10 seconds of airtime in this 1 minute and 53-second trailer.
I think
so that is a significant part of season 8.
The other significant part is, though, that Biggie says as well, and you guys are saying, is that the Arya scene, she has Dragonglass with her. And I think that we're most likely at Winterfell. Biggie also says, remember the White Walkers that Jon fought in Hardhome? That White Walker alone was kicking ass all by himself until Jon gets Longclaw back. So...
yeah, he's a general, though. We said that.
Yeah.
Mutually.
So
that's a general.
I mean, if they make a point for you to see the Dragonglass, then she's probably in Winterfell, because there's no way that she's taken Dragonglass down to King's Landing to murder Cersei. So I have a feeling that we are in Winterfell, and
you know what?
That's a really good point.
yeah, and
the Dragonglass.
And the other deal is that you see Winterfell multiple times, if I remember correctly, in different ways. And
right.
we're in there's other scenes we're going to go over that are taking place in the north. I think a lot of the season is going to be northern focused. I mean, this is where the big battle is going to happen. So I think that she is in Winterfell.
It's really funny you mentioned that, Chris, because when you start, and now granted, I'm doing this all in slow motion. Then there's 1 second of you seeing Davos on top of Winterfell. You can clearly tell it's Winterfell with all the snow. And then it goes right back to Arya running through these corridors. We get a better look at her. We get a better shot at her. I think she is, follow me on this one, Trin, and see if you agree with me. I think she probably fought, let's say it is a White Walker that she fought. Maybe it's a general, right? I think she is what do they call, like, not the decoy, but she's leading that person, because then right after you see her running, you see Varys and Gilly in the crypts, like they're hiding, and they're very quiet. They're very, very quiet, right? And he's looking up like something's happening above.
That would be the worst place to hide,
though. It could be a dragon battle. And then again, it goes back to her running, and she is moving.
All right, now, okay, let's break that down a second. God, this is going to be a long episode. Varys and who was it? Gilly?
Well, there's a bunch of people down there.
Why would you hide in the crypts knowing that the Lord of the Dead that can raise the dead is there, coming for you?
Unless they've hid the
Unless the Golden Company and Euron's forces got to Winterfell from the back end.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
but why?
So.
But
That's
why would you
stretching
hide?
that.
But why would you hide from the dead in the crypts where there are dead bodies?
Because a battle is going to take place. You got to take the civilians.
Varys is not an idiot.
You can't keep them in. You got to keep them somewhere safe, because
wait.
So you put them in the
near
in
fire,
the,
not
in the
near
bottom
dead
crypt.
people.
But I also think there's a secret entrance. It explains why Arya's run. It could be a secret entrance there. So it's like you stay there, because they're gonna be like, keep in mind, you don't know what's gonna happen. There could be like catapults or trebuchets throwing rocks at there's gonna be so much damage being taken place. Why would you keep your people in Winterfell and not underground? Like, it just makes sense.
But John, here's the question I want to ask you. Okay, this one I'm going to ask you. In this particular 22-second clip where we see Arya running, and then we see Davos, and then we see Arya running more, and then we see the crypts, and then we see her running more, and then it goes into the scene where Arya shows the dragon glass in her hand, right? do you think, number one, do you think John is there at the moment? And do you honestly think, and this goes back to Christopher's point, right? If in fact they are running from the White Walkers or they're hiding from the White Walkers, John would never have them hide in the crypt. He would know better, right? So I think he's on to something because they wouldn't be down there if the White Walkers were coming. Something else is afoot.
We also have to remember that these clips that they give us may not be in any kind of order.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? Like they're just trying to get you excited.
But them hiding in the crypt is significant. That's significant. They're hiding from something. What are they hiding from?
I see. That's the thing. That's why I don't know if I would hide. Like me personally. Now, I think Big E just made a comment that maybe the crypts of Winterfell are protected by a magical barrier, similar to Bloodraven's cave.
Or how about this? They're in there's no like. If you look at that, it's this. All you see is a statue. So they're underneath the statue. There's no way a skeleton at this point is gonna crack through concrete or whatever stone to get alive. So let's be honest, like, because when you see the crypts, you're not seeing a tomb. You're just seeing their statue. So they're underneath the statue.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
There's no way, and at this point they're skeletons. So I really don't think they're gonna break through rock and stuff.
That's an excellent point. I will, though, however, remind you that they can break the rules because the dead don't swim. Yet they were able to hook chains to I forget which dragon it was that got killed, and drag him out of the water.
I can counter that though.
Okay, counter it.
Dany, when she attacked, when she went to go save, she was a lot of them were dropping into the water. If you go back and look at that, you go back to that fight.
But where did the chains come from?
I think they just threw that's whatever. But I think
either way,
threw the chain down there. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, it could be a lot of things. I'm hoping that there's a secret entrance out of Winterfell from the bottom that maybe Bran figures out.
Let's move on to.
Are you guys able to see where what I'm showing you? Where she's stabbed right there. It's like wet and she's stabbed, and you can kind of see it a little. There you go.
There it is. That's
it's really hard to see live, but
now, Trin, is that a stab wound or is that blood leaking down onto her?
I think it was a stab wound from the way that she looks in different. Like the way I had it otherwise. So for people who want to go back and look at this themselves on the trailer, it's at about 13 seconds on the official trailer. Go to the 13-second mark, and if you have the ability to move back and forth, you can see.
Wow, that's significant. You can really see it right there. That's
a
great shot.
The live people can't see it at all. It's just not coming through well, so you'll have to go back and take a look at it. There's a couple of comments here I want to get caught up on, and then I want to move on to the Golden Company stuff. Let's see. Carrie says, if you create the Night King with Dragonglass, maybe they are trying to create a Night Queen as part of a pack with the Night King. Big E says HBO is not going to show us the second half of the season. We only saw scenes from the first 3 episodes, with the exception of Tyrion, because that Tyrion scene, there isn't any snow in it. Big E also says, because the crypts might have magic barrier like the Bloodraven Cave. And then when I mentioned where they get the chains from, his response was Hard Home Depot. That's a good one.
Yeah. No, and there's a lot in the books that talk about the magic of the Winterfell crypts and all this magic that's possibly under Winterfell. And so, a
lot of good points. The Golden Company on Silence. You're on ship. John, what do you think about that?
I like it. There's only 3 ships, which is interesting. And we actually have a new character coming this season. So the guy, if Trin wants to pull it up, the guy in that gold armor, his name is Sir Harry Strickland. And he's the commander, he's the Captain General of the Golden Company, also known as the Homeless Harry Strickland.
Okay.
I like this scene. It's interesting how it goes from being like Arya running to like, here comes the Golden Company, and Euron's on that ship too. So I like the scene. The Golden Company looks pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. In golden armor, that looks pretty sick.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Yeah, it does. I think that what I like about this is I think eventually Euron is going to fall, and I think the Golden Company, and this is just a prediction, is going to switch sides and fight for the side of the living.
They're gonna have to.
once they realize what the hell's going on. I think that the Cersei fighting everybody, taking back shit is only like a little bit of a speed bump side story that's going to get wiped pretty quick, and everyone's going to have to really buckle down when Winterfell is lost and the dead come down south.
So, sorry, Chris.
No, that's okay. I was done the thought.
So we see 3 ships there, but Trin, if you go back, there's more ships. So
Oh,
there's
that's
3
a good
ships
point
there.
because this is not Silence because Silence has the big
Yeah.
pieces on the side like the
Oh,
boots.
yeah.
'Cause Trin, if you go back,
And it
if you
also
go
has the
back-
red dot. This is not these are
Yeah.
not Euron
yeah,
Greyjoy's ships
If you go,
because
so
he had
these
the
are
red
Theon
eye.
ships, then, right?
Yeah.
Because if you go back, you'll see when you see this shot of the Golden Army, you see a whole fleet behind. Right, you
Oh
can see
yeah,
it right
yeah.
there. So there's a whole
Behind-
fleet.
There's
So-
all kinds back in the back.
So my theory that I did last week, or I think this is after the show, of Theon intercepting could happen. I doubt it because there's another scene where it doesn't happen. But I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can see all the ships in the back. And for people who are familiar with these ships, in the middle of the Kraken is a red eye, and that is Euron Greyjoy's addition to.
Oh damn! I
Out
didn't even
Greyjoy.
notice that.
Well, here's
Oh, those
something else
ships back
somebody
there.
said. Is that Jamie Lannister?
No, that's
No,
Harry
I thought it was
Strickland.
Jaime
Okay.
Lannister too at first when I first watched it. That's why I had to watch it like 3 different times, and then I had to really focus in on both of his hands. It's definitely not him, but he is this guy. Whoever this guy is,
It's Harry. It's
It is
I-
Harry Strickland.
It's Harry
Harry Strick-
Hoblobbler. Okay, so Harry Hoblobbler here. He's just the head of the Golden Company, or he's
Right.
like the general or something.
Definitely not the way they describe him in the books. In the books, he's like fat and balding.
well, you know HBO.
Oh, yes. Well, I don't blame him for not using him.
You need eye candy every once in a while.
That's true.
I'm
That's
gonna
true.
try to figure out the actor, but
They did have him listed as one of the new actors, and the character is Harry Strickland.
Okay, good.
So that's interesting. And I'm curious what Trin has to say about this because we had a whole conversation about this last week about what we thought Theon was going to do. The fact that we see those 3 Theon ships.
I think we should save that for when we get to
Yeah.
Theon in our
All
because
right.
he's on our list. Remember, he's way
All
down
right.
at the bottom
Yeah.
because he's T.
Sounds good.
Now, I want to move on because I think that's an interesting scene, but this is one of my favorite parts of this trailer, and it was like pretty quick. And I should make a drinking game to this. They're alive. Tormund, Beric Dondarrion, and Dollars Ed are alive. They show up
There
in this
they
trailer.
are.
Son of a bitch. That is
So-
awesome.
Did you seriously think they weren't going to survive though?
Well, I don't
Come
know
on.
because Game of
Well,
Thrones, HBO, they're throwing you for constant loops. I didn't want these characters to ever die. Fuck, they're gonna die, but here they are, and Beric's sword still has the flaming power of fucking flames. That's awesome.
This
so
I think is
so-
in Winterfell because
I think
the brickwork looks like the cornerstones of Winterfell.
so Ed, we always knew Ed was alive because Ed's at the wall at Castle Black. It's only those 2, so I'm glad to see Ed this season. So that's awesome.
Any
And
other?
I think there's another scene which we'll get to, which I think I know how they end up at Winterfell, but I want to save it for when we get to another scene.
I was just really worried when Viserion destroyed the wall,
Me too.
and I didn't want to see those 2 characters. Those are some of my favorite characters. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, I didn't think Tormund was going to survive that. That part of the wall was crumbling
Yeah.
real fast.
And I am glad to see Dollar said I like him as a character. I realize I shouldn't have said he lives because I'm going to get a lot of hate mail. But send your hate mail to someone else. I'm not reading it. I like that character also, and I'm glad that he's going to make an appearance for this last season because they could have just written him off. They could do
So
whatever
him
they want
being-
for God's sakes.
Him being at Winterfell, does that mean Castle Black's gonna eventually fall too?
I don't
'Cause
think.
he's a Knight's King. He's the
Well, what
commander.
What
I-
makes you
I
think
don't-
that's Winterfell? I have a feeling that might not be Winterfell.
I think it looks like Winterfell only because there's
Yeah.
some scenes later on of Arya fighting, and it's got kind of that same cornerstone brickwork, and
Okay.
it just looks a lot because I was trying to figure out where in the heck is she fighting? Where have I
Right,
seen
yeah.
this?
And Castle Black doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
The
but
wall's
I'm just
down.
saying,
The wall doesn't matter.
The East
Yeah.
well,
Watch wall
only
is
a
down.
portion of the wall is down.
Yeah, the whole like so
The
it,
one on the eastern seaboard, right?
yeah, so in season 7, the very last episode, the very last scene that
Eastwatch.
you see when the white dragon
Yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
That's
doing the
Viserion.
fire thing, yeah, Viserion, and he's a white, and his blue flames come out, and it tears down the wall, and you see Tormund and you see Beric Dondarrion kind of jump, and the wall crumbles right before them, but
Yeah.
they're on the winning side because everything from that point on the wall all the way to the
Oh,
sea comes
yeah,
down.
came down. Yeah, yeah. So it's only a portion of the wall that's down, not the
Yes.
whole wall.
It
We
was
will
enough to
bring
get
this
everybody
wall
through.
down.
And the reason I think they'll be at Winterfell is because I think Danny and John go to Eastwatch.
There is
Somebody,
no
There's
more
another
East Watch.
Well, they're gonna go to see what's there. Like
I have a feeling Bran probably tells them everything.
Yeah, I don't
'cause
think they're
he
gonna
can-
go.
Yeah.
He has
Yes.
like warp speed ability to
He has
like
those-
see what's
those,
going on with
the
with
birds.
his crows and
yeah,
ravens.
yeah, he has all the ravens, so we can
when
see
you
all that
see
stuff.
the dragons, you're gonna see. I think in the distance, I mean, I read this online, so again, take it with a grain of salt. But someone was breaking it down, and they said when we'll get to that. So I want to keep
Chris.
it going.
I have a question for you.
Cool.
Because it literally just popped into my head as we were talking.
Mhm.
Do you think Bran can warg in to the White Walker dragon now?
No.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Why not?
It's dead. I don't think he can. We've never seen Bran warg into anything that's not alive.
Could it be? Could he?
I don't know.
Can I?
It's like saying HBO can basically write whatever they want.
That's
He
true.
could. He warged into a butterfly and it shit golden balloons. They can do anything they want. I don't know. A lot of times the rules in these fantasies change when they write themselves in corners, and even George has admitted he's written himself in quite a few corners and had to do some shit to get out. I don't know.
Valid.
I honestly do not know, but I do want to say that Big E makes a comment. Ed, Tormund, and Beric, it looks like they arrive at the new castle like the last heart, House Umber, maybe after the White Walkers killed everybody in the castle and it's empty and dark, which would be an interesting part of their story as they're making their way to get to safety, like they're behind this army of dead.
Yeah, good
Because,
call out, Biggie. Good call
I mean, look at it
out.
this way.
Nice,
After the wall falls, the dead's crossing over. These guys either have to get their shit together and run really quick, or
They gotta hide and kind of.
or they gotta wait. Right, they gotta wait until they gotta follow behind the army and then find a way to get to safety that way.
Yeah,
So yeah, there's a lot of different things here to look at.
that's a
John,
good call out, Biggie. I never even
Yeah.
thought of that.
John, you wanted to say something?
No, I just say good point. I was gonna throw another question out, but I want to keep this going. So
Okay. Let's see. So any other comments that you guys want to make about Tormund and Dolores Ed and Beric?
It's
I think they're all
it's
gonna
just-
die.
It's
Which
close
makes
to
me
the.
sad.
It's close to Tormund and Brienne of Tarth getting the bounce.
Am I missing a scene with Samwell and Bran? Did we talk about that?
It was very
Yeah, yeah,
brief.
yeah.
Okay.
Very, very brief. But
It's- Yeah.
Like I only
think
wrote
Trin
down
and
like
I
the
will both
major.
agree with this.
I only wrote down for my bullet points like the major, like boom, there's like right in your
Mhm.
face.
Well, I think Trin and I are both going to agree with this.
Mhm.
I have a feeling in that moment, and Trin, I think you and I were thinking the same thing when we watched it, because I was like, oh my god, I bet Trin thinking the same thing I'm thinking.
That's when
That
John
is
walks
the
in.
Yep, that's when John walks
Oh
in,
yeah.
because Bran has just he and Sam have just talked about what they
Mhm.
know. You know, obviously what Bran knows, and then what Sam learned. Yeah, I was like, oh my God, Trin! I was like, that's all I could think about was Trin and I were like, I was thinking we are on the same page on this bad boy.
Looks like a very private conversation, I might add.
Yes, very private.
I'm just saying.
And,
Go ahead, Trin.
yeah, I was gonna say Sam looks a little worried. Like, oh, how do we tell him this? Because
Yeah.
it's
It's big. It's a
lot
big
to
deal.
drop
It's
on
life
something.
changing for
It's a
him.
big deal.
yeah, and Sam is really, really close to John. Like
Yeah.
he just loves
And-
John.
and there's another scene where I'm getting excited. Where I think there's another scene I can't wait to. I think it's coming up soon. So I
Let me
can't wait.
guess, it's got John in it.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I figured. Shocking.
The next scene we have, and the first thing I'm thinking when I saw this is, what in the seven hells is she thinking? And this is when we see we're at King's Landing, right around the Red Keep, probably around the docks, if I had to take a guess. And Cersei's smirking, and she's got that look on her face, like hee hee. And you have Qyburn, like he's trying to tell her something, and then you have the mountain in the background and all of her new Queen's guards in the black armor, which I think looks freaking awesome. I
Yeah.
love I don't like gold, but I love the colors of her regime. I think that just looks like I am a villain. I am badass,
Yeah.
and
I don't like the helmets.
well,
Yeah, the
may-
helmets
kinda
are a little
looks-
weird.
they're
but-
supposed to be a throwback to Lannisters because the Lannister helmets, I don't know, they're okay. I mean, I forget where I read this, but the Lannisters have a very samurai look and feel to their armor.
Right.
But
Yeah, I don't know what to make of this scene. I
This-
don't know.
she's
if
got a smug look.
she's- She does have a smug look, and Qyburn is kind of like. Qyburn kind of looks at her like, "Why aren't you more worried?" It could be she's standing there waiting. She sees the ships, the
That's what
Greyjoy
that's what I was gonna
ships.
say.
But there's definitely something that she and Qyburn, something Qyburn probably told her, and she just looks like she doesn't give a damn, like she's got a plan
or
or
maybe
whatever.
it's part of the plan, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
This
Qyburn
went
always looks like that on his. He's always, I don't know. He's always got that weird look on his face when he's talking.
not like that though. When he's standing with her, normally he's very sure of himself. That particular, frame, he doesn't look very sure of himself in that particular
I
frame.
think he's telling her that Eastwatch has fallen. That's the most logical because I agree with you. I think she's there. She's
Ah.
looking
Or
at the ships.
Winterfell has fallen.
Too
may-
soon.
Because look at her
Ah.
face. Look at her face. She is like, yeah, see, I told you. I mean, it could be he's telling her that
She
Winterfell.
She does look very satisfied.
Yes.
But that could just be she's seeing the fleet come.
No, she wouldn't. She wouldn't give a damn.
Could be a
about the
combination
Flash.
of the two. Yeah, she would. I think it could be a combination of the two.
She
I mean,
want to watch the fleet come.
like here comes the fleet, right? They're on the dock. They're there for a reason, not to watch the sunset. And the fleet's arrived to the Red Keep, and she's looking at the fleet. And then that's when Qyburn says, a raven just came in and we found out that Eastwatch fell.
I need, but see, I
But
don't think
that's
it's
all part of her
Eastwatch.
plan. Her plan is that the North be wiped out by the dead, or they wipe each other out, and she's going to pick up the pieces. That's her
But
plan.
But if you look at it, she's not. And of course, we're apples, and we're breaking and dissecting. She doesn't look like she's looking off into the water. She looks like she's looking down towards something.
She's thinking.
And I have a feeling Qyburn isn't telling her about Eastwatch. She wouldn't give a damn about Eastwatch falling. She doesn't give a shit. She cares if it's Winterfell. And I have a feeling that he's telling her that the battle is at Winterfell. That's what I think.
I think we need to
Because
write this stuff down.
Trin and
'cause
I,
it would be
I think we
I'm curious
agree.
to see where we
She
get.
looks way too satisfied. She wouldn't give a damn if it was Eastwatch. She doesn't give
I
a
don't
shit.
think it's Winterfell, and the only reason I don't think it's Winterfell is because she is on the docks, and a lot of speculation, and I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but a lot of speculation is that everything from the footage from this trailer is the first 3 episodes.
I
I've
wouldn't be
heard that
surprised.
over and over and over. They're not
So
giving
this
us
entire
anything
trailer
from
is the
last
first 3 episodes.
It could be.
Yes, I've that's
Yeah.
what I've heard. I've
Interesting.
watched a lot of videos,
That's very
dissecting this
interesting.
and read a lot of articles about this. So it does seem, and from the pictures on Entertainment Weekly, you see she's got a lot of different outfits. There's outfits on there that people are wearing that they're not wearing in this trailer. So there's
Yeah.
tons of footage that obviously they're not
Right,
showing us.
right.
But I think she's on the docks seeing Euron Greyjoy in the fleet and seeing the Golden Company show up. And I think that's what her satisfied look is like, look what, all this money
So
bought
you
me.
don't
and
you don't
I'm
think
gonna be
Qyburn is
successful."
telling her anything in that clip?
It could say something about Eastwatch is down, but I don't think it's Winterfell. I don't think that's happened yet. Because I do think that she's watching.
I think this is
Unless-
episode 1.
Yeah.
You
with-
think
might
this
be right,
entire
Chris.
trailer is episode 1?
No. This
she's
scene.
saying that
Oh,
scene.
just this particular
Yeah.
scene.
It would reminisce to season 7, Chris, because in episode 1 of season 7, it was when she was standing with Jamie and then Euron was coming in. So there is
Yes.
precedence for that.
But would
Yeah.
Euron be back that quickly?
She sent her off
Yeah.
when he left that meeting. He's already going there. So I could see that happening.
I mean, Euron's coming
Here-
back at the same time that Daenerys and Jon are getting up to the Winterfell, so it's that time frame is reasonable.
Okay.
Because they went to Dragonstone first. And
That's
they were
true.
like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
we should go back together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just think that
And then make a baby.
there's another scene with Cersei that we want to go over a little bit later, and we're going to get to that. But I don't know. I just feel like it's just enough for her. Like the reason she's looking slightly to the left is because she's acknowledging to us that she's acknowledging what Qyburn is saying, because of the perspective from the camera from our view as the watchers.
Right. Yeah.
He just explained to her that they got this information. It would make sense, and that's why I feel like it's episode 1, because they're getting caught up. Like, hey, guess what just happened? And I think and you said that she doesn't give a damn about Eastwatch, and I think she does, because that's all a part of her plan.
Well, no, Chris. What I mean by not giving a damn, it's to have that kind of smirk on her face is what I mean. She would have that kind of smirk on her face if she found out that Winterfell fell, or if she found out that Daenerys. She would have that look on her face for pure satisfaction, justification. Hearing the news of Eastwatch falling, I don't think she would have that kind of smug look on her face, because we know how she felt about the Night's Watch. She didn't give a damn about the Night's Watch. And so much so that she never sent anybody to the Night's Watch. So I
had another
that's
thought.
what I feel.
This is super crazy.
John,
and
you're going to
it's
take over
totally
for a minute?
Tinfoil.
Sure.
All right, I'll be right back, guys.
Okay, totally tinfoil. And just hear me out for a second.
Okay.
Cersei has promised to marry Euron Greyjoy, right?
Right.
When the war is ended. And we did see those 3 ships of Theon, and he is like hell bent on going to get Yara, and that would mean having to kill Euron Greyjoy somehow. I don't know if Theon's going to end up doing it because he's no balls.
He's gonna do it.
But if somehow Euron got killed, however, the Golden Company's already been delivered, and she gets the news that she doesn't have to marry that guy. I mean, she could be pretty happy about that too.
That is the only
it's
other
having
way
her-
she would have that grin and
So-
smugness
has
on her
cake-
face, Trin.
She has her cake
Where-
and eat it too. You know
Where
what I mean?
So perfect,
where-
Trin.
Here's where I kind and there's a
Possible.
We're making
scene.
our
There's
own
a,
theory crafts, everybody.
Yeah.
there's a throne room scene where I think Euron's next to Harry Strickland. We'll get that to later. Let's move on. Oh, this is my
Yeah.
favorite. This is my favorite. Yes. So we got Wintertown. We got the Unsullied, Daenerys, Jon march into Winterfell. We got Sansa sees dragons fly over Winterfell, and Johnny, Dany in the crypts. Okay. I love this scene. This is my favorite. I love this. This is epic for me.
Wintertown.
This is
first.
Wintertown. I love
Yes.
this. The army's marching. I love it. And they're already in their winter gear. They're already wearing like long sleeves. You could see up close when you see it later on. They're already in their winter gear, so that's awesome. I love that. You see a little boy watching overhead.
Dude, you look at that entire line of the Unsullied. It goes all the way up. If you're looking at the scene we're looking
Yeah.
at,
Yeah.
it's all the way up the hill.
There's
That is-
10,000.
So
I know, I mean-
10,000.
but
on this
just the
scene-
optics of that is insane.
So
amazing.
for people who can't see it and want to go back and watch it, it's at 39 seconds, right about 39 seconds into the trailer. And you
That's
can actually see Winterfell in the very top right. There's a little spot where you can recognize that's Winterfell. So this is Wintertown, which is outside of
Yeah.
Winterfell.
Yeah, that's
And
so cool.
yeah, and the army goes
that's
all the way up.
And we see
That's
the clip
intense.
with John and Danny. Just
Yep,
a little.
it's coming.
Okay.
So you got this little kid.
You know what this
looking-
scene reminds me of? This scene reminds me of in
Boom.
Lord of the Rings when they're walking through
Yes.
Minas Tirith, and then here you've got Danny and John
And they're in their
side
winter
by side. I love. Can I just say,
Sorry.
total girl thing, and I'm going fangirling right now. I love her freaking outfit, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good
I
outfit. It's a good
absolutely
outfit.
love the coat. I love how the horse kind of has the same reins that the coat. I love this outfit,
yeah.
girl. I
It
love
does
it.
have frill on it. That is great on
Look
the
at
horse.
that. Look
Yeah.
at that.
And
It's just sexy.
Sorry.
And
you
there,
see Sansa seeing
Ooh.
dragon for the first time.
Okay. Yep.
Look
So
at
we got-
it's just,
and she
it's
looks
so
ama-
pretty.
What's amazing, people don't realize, like the North, people have never seen dragons in like forever. Like this is like
Well, most of the
a
people in
crazy-
the north haven't.
no, like no one has. Not for
Yeah.
like 500 whatever years it's been. Like it's been hundreds. There's no one in. So see, everyone gets their reaction when they see dragon. Like she's just like what, and you see the second
Dude,
one.
Sansa's just like, Sansa she's not even scared. She's like, hell yeah,
She's like,
bring on
we
the
got this."
cavalry. And
Now-
you can see she's so enamored. She just understands. See, this is what I love, and this is what I love about this particular scene
Mhm.
is you look at Sansa. She's not afraid. She's not frightened. She's not anything. You look at her face. It is pure adoration and admiration for these beautiful creatures.
Yeah.
And I think that is what's going to help. Remember, we go back and we talked about it last week about, how are they going to cope with him bending the knee? You look at the way Sansa is, to have an understanding and to be able to put aside differences and stuff like that and be just admiring the beauty of these beautiful creatures. That I think is what's going to help them survive and get through the next portion of it, with all the craziness that's about to ensue. You can just tell in her face that she is like, my God, these are beautiful creatures. And I think that is crucial.
I love what Big E says in the comments. He says, no, no, no. The dragons are seeing Sansa for the first time. And that's wonderful because Sansa's one of my favorite
nice
characters.
Biggie,
I
nice
love her,
Biggie.
love her, love her.
Uh,
I see her face right now and I see like, yes, it's admiration, but at the same time, she's kind of in a little bit of disbelief. But
Yeah.
if you go back
Yeah.
to season 7 and you go back to the crazy shit Sansa has had to like deal with, her brother came back and now he's this all-seeing, all-knowing, all everything, and she's like, what does that mean?
The dream creeper
Yeah.
2.0, as Chris would say.
Yeah, but like,
What's-
and he legitimately knows stuff, and she's like, what is a blood raven? Like, I don't understand what you mean. So she's being faced with this like magical thing of her brother, and then her sister, and she finds all the faces in her sister's bag, and she's like, okay, so my brother is a crazy guy who oracle, and my sister is now a magic assassin, and Sansa's not used to the realm of magic, or she's the only Stark that hasn't dealt with anything
yeah.
that wasn't a normal life or normal politics. And now she's like, okay, so fucking dragons.
Yeah, is her
All
hair
right.
more red in this clip than
Looks
before?
very red,
No,
yeah.
I think it's the same.
It looks more
Uh,
red to me.
It-
I think
it's
just,
crazy.
It's just white outside.
Mama
There's a
Cheryl
lot of, like,
says, I see amazement on her face. Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
There's a lot. Cause you have to. It's also like when Danny's dragons first was born, everyone in the South, like even there's a scene with Tywin and Joffrey where Tywin's like he's dismissing it because everyone doesn't believe it. Everyone just says, oh, it's a rumor because it's in the East and
Right.
stuff. And
yeah.
now everyone is seeing it and being like, this is fucking real. Because I remember that conversation. Joffrey's like, is there dragons? And like, when was the last time there was dragons? That's what Tywin. I can't remember. I'm butchering
And
it. but
if I'm not
he kinda-
mistaken,
Tywin kind of like, I think Tywin, when he was Hand to the King, he kind of dismissed because he didn't believe
course,
there was
yeah.
dragons. And now everyone's seeing it and being like, oh, it's no longer a rumor. It's no longer just some made up thing. It's real. Dragons are real. And and look, oh my
that is awesome. Look
saw-
at that. That's great.
I want to.
That's a great shot, Trin. Trin, maybe you can answer this for me. They're not fully grown yet, are they?
No, they are.
They are.
Drogon is. Drogon is
um,
fully grown because, sorry, Trin, but
No, it's fine.
Drogon's fully grown because he was able to stay outside. But the other two weren't. They're stalled a little bit because they were in captivity.
Oh, that's right. That's
But
right.
now
Yeah,
they're
that's right.
getting grown now. But I think they're full grown. I think Drogon's
think
full grown.
dragons continue to grow as long as they are fed and as long as they have some freedom and they're not kept locked up somewhere. They will continue to grow kind of forever. Maybe not at the rate that they've been growing over the course of the last, 10 years or so that she's been growing them. But
God, that is a great shot.
mhm.
Freaking dragons flying over
Let's get to my
Winterfell.
thing.
That is the craziest thing to
Yeah.
me.
Let's get to the.
Let's be clear, right? How many of us thought when we started watching this show in season 1 would have ever predicted that dragons would be flying over fucking Winterfell?
Right.
Not a single
No.
one of us
I-
would have predicted that.
I figured
Mhm.
King's Landing. I never would have thought Winterfell. I figured
Well,
they'd
they
fly over King's
showed.
Landing.
Wasn't
So-
it? It was in not Danny's dream. Oh, in one of Bran's super flash moments where he touches the tree and he gets like flashes of all that stuff. You do see a very,
Oh
very,
my
very
God, that's
small,
right.
a small clip of a dragon shadow over the Red Keep.
I
like,
totally
and
forgot
around-
about
Remember
that.
that?
But,
So so I think we're gonna see dragons over King's Landing as well.
can we
honestly.
see? Can we
Oh,
see? Well, we already. Can we see the next scene, the John and Danny in the crypts? So here's where I like this scene.
Okay. I can't
So
tell where
can
he's
I?
standing in front of.
I think he, if I'm
From
not
what I
mistaken,
heard,
he's
it's
standing in front of
Liana's.
Liana.
And I think he
Yeah.
knows. I think he and Danny knows because
Yeah,
I read
because
somewhere online that someone compared it to where Ned, or no Ned, yeah, where Ned and Robert was. So again, take this with a
Maybe.
grain of salt because I read this online in an article, but I think that's Liana's statue John is in front of, and I think Danny, they both know.
I think John, I think you're right because if you remember correctly, when they go down into the crypts, when the three of them are back together, when Bran, Arya, and Sansa are back together, I can't remember what episode it was last season. They go down and they were standing. If I think I remember, if they were standing in front of Ned's crypt, he was towards the back of
And he was on the
that
left, I
particular
think,
hall,
side
and he was
too.
on the left, right? I think you're right. I think on the right, it's probably Liana, although Big E does say it's Ned's statue, so it could be, but I have a feeling he's in front of Liana's.
And I think just for Danny joining him there, I think it's Liana's.
Well,
Just
also
for the fact that Danny's there, because usually, like, if John's gonna look at Ned, he wants to be by himself. I think this is him looking at Liana. I think he just found that he found out.
Well, I think she's coming down there anyway because
Yeah.
and you can tell, look, she's still in the white coat. So they literally just got back, right? And there he is again in this scene. He can tell he's conflicted. There's suffering. So I have this feeling
He
that
knows.
that is right after Sam and Bran tell him, guess what? You're a Targaryen.
There is a statue behind him.
Well, can we
and that
see
would
any
help
closer?
us. That
Can you
would
get any
really,
closer
really-
before?
No.
See, now we have to go back to episode. What we have to do is someone has to go back to episode 1 and see Ned and Robert, and to see if that's the exact. I mean, this is where we're
Well,
reaching.
see, yeah,
at
he
this
moves
point.
his head in that scene because I
Yeah.
don't think we're going to be able to see it.
But I
he's
think this-
conflicted.
he's
He's
conflicted.
conflicted. in
yeah.
that.
So, I
Okay,
mean,
Big E says Ned's statue. He goes, when Arya and Sansa were in the crypts in season 7, they were standing before Ned's statue. Okay, so Big E thinks he's in front of Ned's, which would make sense.
yeah.
You know, because remember, he's John, you touched on this. He said, you know, remember what the last thing Ned said to John was, we'll talk when I get back, we'll talk about your mother.
I think, yeah.
So
either
now
way,
he's like, well, great, you didn't get a chance to tell me. Now I have to find out like this, and I just happened to go fuck my cousin. So thanks a lot, Dad. You know,
well,
that's what it is.
either way, it's he knows, because that look on his face means he knows. So either way, I think he knows by now. If there's any other comments, I want to move to the next scene.
Okay, so here's Trin got. This is in front of Liana. She looks like she's at the end of the cave.
Well, and also there's no statue behind him. Yeah, it does look like she's at.
But we're also seeing a different angle though, too, right? Because this is an angle that's towards the hall.
Yeah,
We're-
you're right. You're right.
So, I want to move on unless there's any comments. Any comments? I want to move on to the next scene here. We got Gentry's got muscles, huge pile of dragon glass. Juron has Heartsbane. Gentry's forging some. Gentry's been busy forging some weapons there,
Dragon, yeah.
and
so
he's got to.
Big E says go back to season 7, episode 4. We will. Well, I'll have to do that and definitely show you guys. So yeah.
He's got a lot of work to do because he's got to forge 10,000 plus spears to put the Unsullied. So
Yeah.
do
So
we have a scene of that?
we
have a
do.
clip?
We
Yeah.
have the forge, and you can see there is some like. Of course, it's blurred right here, but there is a sword that is being forged. I don't know what it's being forged out of, but if you look in the background, that is a huge pile of dragon glass.
Yes.
And you can see as they go by. So see, he's forging something here, but this is all dragon glass back here.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And
of
that's for people who can't see it clearly on our screen. If you go back to the trailer at 56 seconds is right about when you can see all that dragon glass. And then there's Gendry walking up like,
Gendry,
So-
everybody drink because we're gonna bring
Well,
that damn game back.
we don't do that. No, we don't do
Oh,
that.
we're gonna bring it back
oh man.
Anyways,
because we know Gendry's going down.
I don't think so. Anyways, yeah, I like this scene. And then is that Heartsbane for sure? Does
Oh,
Euron
yeah.
does Euron
yeah.
so he gave him
Yes.
Heartsbane. Nice.
So if you look
Oh yeah.
look at
There it-
that, and then I think I got a picture of Heartsbane.
So is Heartsbane the one on his horse?
Heartsbane
Yeah,
is
it's the one on the
that
left.
one
Yeah.
there. And I have here's a picture
Right?
of Hearts. Hang on,
No,
here's a
Because he's got
picture.
two. He's holding two right,
Right.
now.
I think
so.
the one on his left was Heartsbane.
So you see how
So
Heartsbane
the one
has,
in the horse, the one that's slithered in the horse. I
Yeah,
said
on
that
his
wrong.
left. Yeah.
Yeah.
this is Heartsbane, right? See the hilt looks
Okay,
kind of
so
like
let's
that,
go-
and the top and the pummel. And then you go back to this. That's
that's
Heartsbane for
Heartsbane.
sure.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
definitely
Good guy to put
Heartsbane.
it on. He's a good guy to put it on. He's a good guy to wield that sword.
Yes.
So we're looking here. This to me is either they're in the midst of battle or they're just getting ready to go to war because we'll see another scene which is actually coming up soon. But I mean, what do you guys think of this scene? Like, is this like, are they getting ready?
Well, you do see Dothraki, which is cool.
Is there where?
Yeah, you do
right
see the
behind him.
Dothraki.
There it
They're
is.
right
'Cause
behind it. Yeah.
I was waiting. I saw the trailer. I'm like,
Yep.
where's the Dothraki? Where's like
Those
that?
are
Asian-
Dothraki for sure, and they got coats on. So
Oh, yeah, of course they have.
I know it's cold.
That's a pretty
Yeah, they don't look like they're like they don't look like they're in a hurry to get to like in position.
so this is right
So-
before the battle.
Yeah, but if you look,
Probably.
but if you watch when you watch it in full speed, obviously, everybody else is, worried, but they're just normal, like getting in position. Like there's no, like oh my god, we got to get in. Like there's no craziness to it. They're just
I have a feeling Bran, being the Ma Bell that he is, he's probably saying, "Hey, they're 6 miles north by northwest.
Yeah,
You guys should probably form up now." Yeah.
Any comments? You two comments?
Let me look. We've got Mama Cheryl says, "Gendry, thanks, Jonathan. I'm still playing." Big
that's
E
what's up,
says-
Mama Cheryl.
Yeah. Biggie says that Jorah has Heartsbane with him. The castle walls are covered with dragon glass spikes. I didn't see that, but that's awesome. What a good
Nice.
strategy. I have to go back and check that out. And they do have tons and tons of dragon glass that they mined, so we'll have to
That's-
I don't see the spikes that you're talking about. But yeah. So then
Any-
that's the current ones.
So,
then
no
we've
final.
got-
Any thoughts or anything before I move on? No. So we have.
No, I'm just so glad that Jorah's back, and that
I'm
he's
glad that they
not-
gave him Heartsbane, and I think I actually predicted that a couple of
Yeah, I think we all
episodes
Yeah, I
did.
think,
ago.
I think you did. I think
Because
you
he's
did.
the best guy to wield it. So, anyways,
He is.
It's not even that he's the best guy. I mean, think about it. He's been at Dany's side, and he has devoted himself to protecting her. Falling in love with her too. But I think the fact that knowing that she is with, because I'm sure at that point they know that she and John are, they're doing the bounce wow wow whatever. But the fact that he's still willing to serve, the fact that he's still willing to, even after getting cured by Sam and all that stuff, the fact that he is like, you know what? It's not about me. It's not about what I want. It's about putting, and this is why I've always loved Jorah, even though he is so flawed in so many ways. He will always put duty and, and that honor of protecting the realm above everything else, above his own selfish interests. And I love him for that.
He is definitely one of the best swordsmen that they've got.
Especially when they don't have Jamie.
I mean, he was on the Suicide Squad that went up past the
Yeah.
wall, and
right.
he's definitely worth giving a Valyrian steel sword
Hell
to,
yes.
because
Yes.
he could easily, I don't want to say easily, but he could definitely be one of the people who takes out a general, and I could
Yeah.
see
Well,
him
I mean,
doing
think
that.
about it. Think about it this too, Trin. If let's say Jamie didn't lose his hand, having Jorah and Jaime side by side fighting with Valerian steel, that would have been badass. But the fact that you don't have a fully operational Jaime, you have to have the next best thing at your arsenal, and that's Jorah Mormont.
Yeah. No,
So-
Jorah's definitely awesome.
We got the next scene. We got Missandei and Grey Worm kissing. Brienne slaying on the battlements. Jaime yelling on the battlements with maybe Podrick next to him. So this is right. So this is right before the beginning. So they're getting ready. She's gonna kiss goodbye. And then there's that's Jaime. Is that
That's
Brienne?
Brienne.
That's
Yeah.
Brienne.
She's killing it.
And
She's killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not a White Walker.
That could be. Well, let's go back one.
I don't think that's a White Walker.
Let's see. I wish it was more clear, but it's not. Okay, that's definitely Brienne.
And that's definitely fire behind them, right? Oh, no,
yeah.
you know what? Maybe that is a White Walker. Look at it.
Oh yeah, that was a White Walker.
So
for
they've already. So at this scene here, they've breached pretty much. So they're into Winterfell. We assume they're on the battlements. So it's not going well.
There's
There's
Jaime.
Jamie's like,
Does that look like Pod behind him?
yeah,
That
looks
I
fun.
don't
Go back
know.
2 seconds. If you can go back, like,
Watch
go back,
careful.
Watch careful.
There's Brienne, and then you've got what looks like Pod.
That's-
To me,
that's-
it looks like Pod.
That's pot. That's pot.
Yeah, but he's screaming in order. Have you noticed that? He is
screaming in
definitely
order.
either he's like fire or something.
Yeah, he's
Or
like,
he's,
fire.
or he's screaming Brienne.
He's either yelling
Maybe.
Brienne or fire. He's like, fire. Or
I don't
something.
know if that's Pod.
That looks like
Yeah,
pot.
it does look like Pod here, like
Shit is shit is going down. So shit's going crazy in that scene. Like fucking.
So that's definitely the battle for Winterfell.
Yeah,
Right? That's
so-
definite.
yes.
But yeah, it looks like fire is behind them.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that's a
there's
good
fire
sign.
everywhere.
there's
Um,
fire.
Biggie says, R.I.P. Grey Worm. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
afraid he's probably gonna get killed, and that sucks. And then that's Brienne killing. You can see the Oathkeeper pummel. I would have to brighten it up to be
Yeah.
able to see all this and use better software. I'm just using like Windows Movie Player for this.
Yeah.
Or actually, I'm just using YouTube for this. But yeah, I do have some software that's not working right now to be able to like brighten it up and clean it all up and look at this better. But yeah, there's tons of dragon fire. I'm sure they're using the dragons for the Winterfell fight. They've got to be using the dragons. And we know that this is probably episode 3 because that's the one that Miguel Sapochnik is directing. And we know that's
Yep.
I think they've even titled it The Battle for Winterfell.
And-
God, yeah.
We're gonna be at the Ice and Fire Con for episode 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Crap,
So
yes. We
I am
Oh,
gonna
that's
go-
gonna be lit.
guys, Trin and Chris does not know how excited I get watching. Like
the battle.
there's excitement on the podcast, but when you're gonna see me live there, it's gonna be oh my god,
That's
I'm
be
gonna
a really hard episode because I do feel like we're gonna get half the cast is gonna
Yeah.
die.
so
And so we're gonna
Like
see
like half of everybody.
we're gonna
like-
see Grey Worm and Dolorset and probably Beric Dondarrion and probably Brienne and I don't know about Jamie and
Who knows, man? Who
probably
knows?
I don't know. I don't think Brienne's gonna die. I really think that girl is gonna
I
keep
can't
on
think
fighting.
Brienne is gonna live.
So in this scene where you see Brienne fighting on the battlements and then you see Jamie screaming something, he had a dream in which book was it? The 3rd book, I think. After his hand got chopped off, and he had a dream of being in the crypts of Casterly Rock, I think it was in the dungeons of Casterly Rock or somewhere, some dark place. And Brienne was there, and they were fighting something with flaming swords together in his dream.
Oh,
So,
yeah, okay. I
and that
remember
was that was in the books. So, I feel like this scene is something that will be in the future in the books because George has already foreshadowed it, and with dreams
So-
and stuff. So this is kind of them paying homage to the book readers by giving them a scene where Jamie and Brienne are fighting.
So
Side
we
by
move
side.
to any other thing, Julie? Want to say anything else about this or?
No, I'm good. We can move on to the next thing.
So we got King's Landing, Throne Room. Harry Strickland, Euron, Cersei smirks or crying. 2 scenes of dragons flying over the north. Arya sees the dragons in awe. Grey Worm looks pissed. Jon alone in the heart tree in Winterfell's Godwood. So let's see that. So yeah, that looks like I can't blow that up anymore.
Whoa, slow down. No, because it's the HBO.
Yeah.
So first things first, this is King's Landing throne room. You've got Cersei in the center, you've got Qyburn, you've got the mountain, you got a couple other guards.
Well, who
What
the hell's the dude
looks-
in the middle?
That's
Harry
that's Harry
Strickland.
Strickland.
Yeah, he's the Golden Company.
And
'cause
next to
he's
him,
kind
like-
of got lighter colors. Next to him, it looks like Euron. Yeah, yeah, for
And now
sure.
this
I'm
is
sorry,
the
this
big.
isn't coming well over.
So
the
let's
people
get to
watching.
Cersei because I think that's the big. This is the big debate that a lot of people are talking about here. If we could look at
Okay.
to go a little bit further, because I
Mhm.
want to get Julie's take on this. You could play it.
She obviously has a glass of wine in front of her.
As always, that's Cersei's
And
Julie,
MO.
what do you
can
what are you
very
thinking?
much see that she's crying. And she doesn't have her armor on. And so the background of this kind of makes me think she's in her own chambers. She's not in, the throne room. I think she's whatever room she occupies now. I don't know if it's the,
I think that's the room where, like right off from where, that's her private quarters.
yeah. So
Let's see the face.
she's
Yeah, she's
got
definitely crying.
tears.
But then there's a smirk.
And then
Julie,
she smirks.
Julie, what do you
kind of,
think?
though.
Julie, what are you thinking here, Julie? What do you think?
See, look at the little ways that her lips going back and forth. It's like she's crying, but she's trying to be like she's done this before. She's had this sort of face before, and I think
Yeah,
if
she
you
has.
guys remember when Jamie brought back the body of their daughter, oh my god, I'm having a brain fart.
Marcella.
Marcella, yeah.
She
yeah,
had
you're
this
right.
same face, and it
She
was
did,
like
yeah.
a I'm smiling but I'm crying sort of face. I don't think that I'll see if I can find it.
Well, if for me, John, and Trin's right. She's had this face before. And even if I'm not mistaken, she's had it even before when Jamie brought Marcella back. It's quite possible that she has just been informed that Jamie has fallen.
Dead?
Yeah. Yeah, because I think, she's conflicted. Ever since Jamie literally was like, no, F you, I'm going to fight for the living. Fuck you, you can stay here
Back.
and you can pretend to be, this, that, and the other. Oh, she's got it up. This is great. So this is Marcella coming back. And yeah, she is. She's kind of like, she's not really like crying, but she's like, and that's, here he is bringing back her daughter. You know what I mean?
Where are we at?
I have a feeling that this is legitimate. She has just been informed that Jamie has fallen. That's
Or
what
maybe that Winterfell has fallen and that she knows
No.
Jamie was there.
So-
Because you're not gonna know. Like, here's the thing: you're not gonna know. Like, when everything happens, like they're not gonna send a raven saying out Jamie's dead. Like, they're not gonna know. So I think what's gonna happen is she's gonna get a raven saying Winterfell's fallen. She knows Jamie went to Winterfell. There's reports that he's been in Winterfell, so that could be why. Because
I think it is deeper than that. I really, really seriously think it's deeper than that. I think she is gonna know if Jamie fell.
How would she know that Jamie fell? Are they just gonna send ravens saying, "Oh, by the way, Jamie Lannister's dead"? Like,
Well,
it's chaos.
Question mark.
Yeah, but let's say, hold on, Chris. Let's say for the sake of argument, John, for just 1 second, let's say that Winterfell. We all think Winterfell falls. Maybe Winterfell doesn't fall.
No, it falls because we've seen.
But
this
there is an ability. Listen, Sam can still send ravens. Sam can go.
You don't need ravens.
Like if they know that the battle is getting to this bad point, of course they're going to send somebody out to send a raven. So I will guarantee you that if she is being informed that Jamie has fallen. I'm telling you, of course this is all speculation. This is my thought, but Trent brought up a very valid point. She made the exact same face, and she just showed it to you when her daughter, her only daughter, was brought back from her death by her lover. The only other person that Cersei would do that with.
Yeah.
She sure as hell didn't do it with her 2 sons. She didn't give a damn. Marcella was her baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the only other person she's going to do that to is the very person that she's been in love with since she was a child, and that's her brother.
I think,
I
yeah, I think she does maybe get. So we all know she's probably going to lose the baby, and it's probably not this scene. It's probably well before this scene. And so she's back to drinking wine because she's not pregnant anymore. And so she's drinking wine and she finds out that Jamie has died in the Battle of Winterfell. And so she's like, kind of like, I told you not to go. So she's smirky, but at the same time, like,
Yeah, like, you son of a bitch, I told you not to do it.
literally lost everything now.
I just think that
She's
so
not-
much shit's going on. Sorry, Chris, go.
Okay, thank you. I'm back, by the way. Are we looking at the
Yay!
picture of Cersei, the second picture of Cersei when she's holding the wine glass?
Yeah, that's where we're at.
Now, I some people said she's crying. I don't see that. Are we talking about her crying? Is she? You guys think that she's crying and
So
upset?
she kind of has that glazed over look that she did before, and right there is when you can tell that
You
she
can
is
see the
very
tears.
she's very
I don't
much
see
in
tears.
conflict.
I want to know, Trin, when you use your thing and lighten it up, do you see tears on her face and her,
Yes.
her makeup running?
Yes.
Okay, because I didn't see that in my picture. When
don't
I
know if
first saw it,
it's
I
makeup
thought,
running.
well, when I first saw it, I didn't see tears because I didn't brighten the picture up or anything. And my first reaction to this was, Winterfell has fallen. Haha, I'm gonna win, because she's nuts. Then if you guys are saying she's crying, then because she's batshit crazy, she's probably crying because she lost a kid, and this is her face. This is her I'm brave, I don't give a shit face, just like you guys were talking about with her daughter.
So I agree. See, you make a good point, Chris. She's getting informed that Winterfell's fallen, but she knows Jamie went to Winterfell. So that could be where the tears is. Like, on one hand, she's happy. On the one hand, she thinks Jamie could be dead. Because I don't think in all that chaos and Ravens, I don't know if you can send a Raven about. That's gonna. I don't want to get into that, but I just think with all the chaos going and Winterfell's fallen, that they're gonna send Raven out that Jamie's dead. Like, I just think that's like they're getting their ass out of there and getting to the south. That's my opinion.
That could very well be.
So Mama Cheryl says it's her survival phase, sorrow with anger with revenge.
Yes. Yes, I agree.
Biggie, she has spies, glassy eyes. She does have spies. That's very true. Mama Cheryl, her eyes are definitely glistening. B Strand 5, what's up? What about the
Valonqar prophecy.
Valonqar prophecy?
Yeah.
That's another
That's a good
thing to
point.
think about.
However, they only introduce a partial part of that prophecy in the show.
Mm-hmm.
They don't
True.
really go into the same depth that they do in the book with a lot of this stuff, and that gives them creative direction that they can go their own way, as long as they get to the same endpoint that George R. R. Martin specified when he made the deal. So the Valonqar prophecy, I don't think it holds up the same way. However, to give B. Strain a little more credit on that, she will have 3 children. Gold will be their crowns. Gold will be their shrouds. That's all. That's it. She doesn't say you'll have 4 kids. She doesn't say you'll have 5 or 2 or 1. You have 3, and they all die. So I think we can all agree that she's going to lose the baby. I don't know if it's that scene, because I don't think that she loses the baby. I think that she gets killed while she's pregnant, so that she and the baby die at the same time, if that makes sense. So she never gives birth to the baby.
I don't think Cersei dies.
Oh my God.
I don't think Cersei dies. I really don't.
I don't know about that one.
I don't. I just don't. For some reason, she has survived this whole fucking thing this whole time. I just don't see Cersei dying. I just don't.
She's like a
I
bad
don't
case of
see
the
her
herpes.
I don't see her coming off of Arya's list, though, and Arya is going to finish her list by
I
the
don't
end
think
of this.
Arya makes it.
Oh my God. I can't.
I do, only because of
John,
the
take your personal
outside
ass out of
forces.
it.
I know.
Dude,
I
really?
know, I know.
Chill,
No.
bro. Chill.
I'm
It's
not
just
saying
my-
anything.
it's just
I'm
my
not
opinion,
saying
bro.
Yeah,
Chill.
we can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah.
We can hear
So
your head
in
steaming.
the books.
Jesus
This
Christ.
is why I think that Cersei dies is because of the Valonqar prophecy. Because
that is a good
George wrote
point.
that, so he's gonna write her out. He's gonna write her death at some point.
Yeah, but he's had to write around circles on that for most of the time. There's a lot of stuff that he's gotten away with Cersei from what Yes, Biggie, you're right. She's way overdue. And let me tell you something. I am not advocating Cersei live. I'm just saying, oh my God. There's a little puppy on the screen and I can't help it right now. I just want to squeeze the little puppy's face. I'm not advocating for Cersei to live. Trust. I can't stand Cersei, the character. But, the fact that she has played the game and done it the way she's done it for this long period of time, I don't see it. But
The Night King's gonna kill her.
I think she loses the baby before. If she does, Chris, if she does die, I think she'll lose the baby before. I think
two birds with one stone.
Well, what I'm saying is I think that one scene is going to be a culmination of so many emotions for her. Number one, you've lost the baby, and now you've gotten news that Jaime's dead. I feel like that is the culmination of that particular scene, because when you get to the very, very end, just before it flips over to the next scene, you can tell that she is just done. She is spent. And the only other time she has ever had that face was after Marcella died.
So then we
That's
have
all
we have two scenes of dragons flying over the north.
Well, what about? Oh, that's what's next.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see everyone again.
Yeah, you can see us all again. So where are you at, John?
I'm at
I'm a little lost.
two scenes of dragons flying over the north. I'm seeing if we can get an image of that here.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry, I got
that's
distracted.
them flying. I think that them's flying towards Eastwatch.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm thinking that.
Well, it definitely looks like there is, because they're definitely, I think they're over the wall.
They look like they're beyond the north. Remember where they were, or beyond the wall up
It really
way
does
up
look
north?
like they are. Yeah, it looks like they're beyond the
That
wall.
looks like the same ravine that they were in.
It looks
when
like
were
they're
fighting.
going back to try to find the other dragon.
Ah.
Because doesn't that look like the water down below them?
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
they
what I
went-
meant. Like
maybe
it's
they went
the
back to
same
try to find the
ravine
dragon.
kind of area.
And how much you want to make a bet that John and Danny are on both of those dragons?
They
Well,
did
if you
say
go
that
back-
they CGI them out, and they do that quite often, like in Marvel
I-
movies and stuff, to not spoil things. They will CGI out characters so that you don't see them, because I've looked at tons of different people doing the breakdown of this video and footage. There is no human on the back of this one. There is no human on the back of the other one. Like, they're not in the trailer. However, they could be in the actual.
John getting his dragon
movie.
driver's license from Biggie.
Exactly.
Yes.
John's learning to drive.
Yes, Biggie, that's excellent.
Yeah, Danny
That is
teaches John
excellent.
how to drive. That's
Yeah, it does look like they're beyond the wall. Maybe like
Well,
Biggie
what's
says
that
he's-
over there? Go back for a second there, if you can.
It looks like
You
the
see-
wall
what's-
in the background.
What's that, right? You could see something where they're going towards. What is that? Like that? I don't know. I'm
That
just,
looks like maybe like a creek or a
reaching.
river.
Yeah, probably. Never mind.
But yeah, but I
That
think that
looks
they're. I
like-
really do think that they're beyond the wall. The next scene is, I think, them beyond the wall, or that's the scene of them coming back to the wall. But this right here, it looks like the ravine of where the other dragon fell, because you can see the water. I have a feeling that they maybe went back to try to find the other dragon, because maybe John told her, like, hey, he could become a zombie, like, not obviously a zombie, but for lack of a better word, you know what I mean? It's possible. Or it's like Big E says, John's just learned how to fly his dragon.
right. How
Yeah.
to train your dragon.
So we have Arya sees the dragons in awe.
Mm-hmm.
But wait, Chris, what do you think? Or he
Sorry.
left again, didn't he? All
Yeah.
right.
So you got
Maybe?
people
Yeah.
seeing. Look at the background. All the people who are looking up, seeing the dragons as well, and
like-
they're
yeah, Arya's
running.
So this picture of Arya, that is way before she's running through
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Winterfell.
This is probably episode 1.
Yeah. This.
Yeah, this is like, so I bet you the scene is Arya sees the dragon and then it shows Sansa seeing the dragon. So this
Yeah,
is obviously
probably.
before.
Because if you look, because I think if you go back to that little clip they showed, Trin, if you remember that clip they showed a few weeks ago, and they showed the Unsullied marching. Danny looks at, Arya looks
Yeah.
at the dragon. That's pretty much it. So this is the
This is
Unsullieds
the
arriving, the
same-
dragons.
Yeah, they recycled
Yeah.
those clips.
So then we have Grey Worm looks pissed.
Oh yeah. So if we finish this scene, and she just looks really happy.
Yeah, she's just
She's
like,
I
damn.
want to ride that. Yes. So this is the beginning of the battle.
That is definitely, yep. And I guarantee this is, so I'm probably assuming that, because at the very end they show Jorah Mormont and them all lined up, and then all of a sudden, then you said, well, obviously we'll get to that part of it, but then, they'll show Grey Worm, he sees it, and that's when he puts the helmet on. So we know where this is.
I don't know.
This is outside the gates of
looks
Winterfell.
so angry.
Because he's getting ready to fight, man.
He's just ready to get fucking. These
guys are serious.
He's ready.
I'm actually interested to see, because
I fuck somebody up. That's that face. I'm gonna fuck somebody.
I'm interested to see this battle because when we see the Unsullied, they got a bad rap because of the whole when they were getting attacked in the city, because that's like one-on-one. When they're in formation like this is where they're really dangerous, and I can't wait, because when we see them last time, I remember on the podcast everyone was shitting on them because it's like, oh, they're not so good, man, they're getting beat down. Yeah, because it's street fighting. It's not like the Unsullied is built for like this formation type phalanx, and I think I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
And we also have John alone at the Heart Tree in Winterfell's Godswood.
I think that's either probably after he goes down into the crypt, or I have a feeling this is after he is told, because I bet you he's told by Bran and Sam, and then obviously I think Dany walks in and hears what they're telling him. And I think Sansa's in there. I think Arya's in there. I think they all hear it together. And then I think Jon kind of freaks out, goes to the tree, because he's trying to find some semblance of who he is, because now everything he thought he knew, he's probably in the grand scheme of it in Game of Thrones years, Jon's probably like late 20s, 28-ish.
Early 20s, maybe.
Right,
early
right.
20s.
So his entire life for 2.5 decades has been a lie. He was told that he was the bastard son of Ned Stark. Now he is told, well, no, you're not. You're actually the legitimate Targaryen heir. Everything he knows about himself is a lie. And he's going to I have a feeling it's going to be obviously the first episode. He's going to go through this. We're going to have this, feeling of Jon unsure of himself. He's going to be going in and out of conflict within himself that whole show, and then I think he'll snap out of it, and I think Dany will be the one to snap him out of it and say, "Listen, it's not, it's not about that. That doesn't make up who you are. Who you are is what you've been your whole life and what you've thought you were. Like, this is who you are. A good person. You are a good man. You fight for the honor of people." I think she's really going to be the one to bring him back into balance.
I want to address some really quick comments before we move on, because they were talking about Arya in the chat. John Serbeck says, wasn't one of Arya's favorite stories by Old Nan about one of the Targaryen sisters who flew her dragons up to the wall, Visenya or Rhaenyra's? Biggie said Queen Alysanne Targaryen. John said, I think Arya always loved the idea of a strong female flying a dragon. So there were two sisters, Visenya and Rhaenys, that were Aegon's sisters, and they both had their own dragons. Neither one of them flew up to the wall. That was Queen Alysanne Targaryen, Jaehaerys's wife, and she flew up to the wall, and that's actually where you get the gift. Was the queen's gift to the Night's Watch, because she saw how they took care of the wall and how they were also great. So it was the queen's gift, and then that was Queen Alysanne. Arya loves the stories of Nymeria down in Dorne. She loves strong female characters. She loved Visenya was her favorite. She told Tywin Lannister that Visenya Targaryen was her favorite. Yeah. So, she's and Biggie said Queen Alysanne is the only Targaryen queen who went to the wall. That's true. A lot of them had their progresses, but I don't know that any of them took a progress up to the wall except for her.
The next scene, the Hound near fire is sweating like a stuck pig. I like whoever puts.
Well, that's the Hound. He's always freaking out about fire.
He's got to have that fuck off moment. Fuck it. And just not let fire scare him. I don't think it'll happen, but
so
I can definitely understand.
See, though, in the scene, there's snow falling. So he is definitely at Winterfell, correct?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're all at Winterfell, essentially.
Mhm.
So, and then we have, wants to talk about that. We can go to the next one because I think this one is a really good scene. Jamie, I promised to fight for a living. I intend to keep that promise. There's a throwback here to John and Mance in season, I want to say, was it 2 where he's like, no, it's not season 2. Was it? No, season 3, I think, where he's like, you know, I want to fight for a living or something like that when he talks to Mance. So I kind of like this scene.
Well, you know what?
Well,
this
and-
is also. Oh, go ahead, Trin. Sorry.
I was gonna say in season 7, when he's talking to Cersei, he says, "I promise to fight. You know, I promise to take the Lannister army up and fight." And he says the exact words, "I intend to keep that promise."
Can we
And he
see
walks
Jamie though
out.
for a second, if he can?
That was him.
I mean, I think this scene. This is a very important scene because this is obviously Jamie arriving at Winterfell. I think we can
Mhm.
all
He
agree
looks-
with that.
He's got the beard going. Wow, that
Oh,
was a
yeah,
long
man.
trip, man.
It's
That
a
was
long
a long
trip.
trip.
Absolutely.
He's got the beard and everything, and
But
he looks like
let's think about this in a broader scale, right? I like to think in the broader the context, right? Jamie Lannister. Think about that. Jamie Lannister has just walked into the throne room at Winterfell after his family gave the order to murder not only Ned Stark. Well, no, not Ned, but behead Ned, and then kill what's her name? Ned's wife. Help me. Somebody help me.
Catelyn?
Catelyn, thank you.
Oh yeah.
They gave the order to kill Catelyn.
They have
and
no
Robb,
reason to trust
and
him.
and Rob's wife, right? So here is a Lannister, Jamie Lannister nonetheless, who is now walking into the throne room at Winterfell.
Oh no, there's more than
pledging.
that.
there's more than that. You're forgetting
Well,
Danny.
no, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
He took
know-
a lance and was riding right at Danny.
Oh, forget that.
trying
Trin.
to
No.
kill her.
What I'm saying is just in general of just in the terms of the Starks, right? You know, obviously pushing Bran out the window, all this stuff. Like he has this huge resume of hate or of stuff
yeah.
that he's done to the Starks. But here is
Nobody
Jamie
cares.
Lannister walking into Winterfell, into the throne room, basically bending the knee and saying, "Look, shit's getting real. I'm not going to be the one who didn't fight for you and fight for the living." I think this is going to be I think it's going to be a really, really emotional scene for Jamie. I really feel that it is. And Big E is right. Him and Bran are now
Yeah.
about to be back in proximity to each other.
Yep.
You know, so that's going to be interesting. You know, it's
Mhm.
true. He did kill Danny's dad, so that's going to be another thing.
It's
and
not just Danny's dad. They ordered the death of Rhaegar or whatever. We could go on.
But what I'm saying is just in the terms of being of Starks, he's walking into the Starks home after everything that not only the Lannisters have done, but he himself has done, and he is basically saying to them, "I am here to help you. I'm he's not begging, obviously, but you know what I mean? Like they could legitimately just kill him right then and there because of everything that he's done."
But you know why they won't? Because John said we're all on the same side because we're all breathing.
Exactly. I think that's the best part of this whole thing.
It's amazing because from episode 1, when they did episode 1, they already established Starks Lannisters don't like each other.
Oh yeah.
They don't. There's a hatred there. The Lannisters look down on the Starks are like, you know what I mean? So there's already from episode 1, we don't hate them. They fought a war against each other. There's all this. So him walking in and being like, "I'm here to fight," is amazing. He's got some balls. I give Jamie
John
credit.
Surback says something very interesting too. This is also he's going to be back with Tyrion. This is the first time.
And Brienne.
And Brienne, but this is the first time he's seeing Tyrion since he freed him and Tyrion killed their dad.
So I
they saw each other when they were all in King's Landing at that little meeting.
Yeah, but they didn't get a whole lot of time to be all buddy and talk to each other.
Well, they set up the meeting.
That's
him
true,
and
they did.
Tyrion set up the
They
meeting.
did. Yeah.
Now I have a question here.
Yeah.
Do you think Bronn follows Jamie to the or does he stay by? Because we have no mention of Bronn ever. Is Bronn even in our list of?
From everything that I have saw, and Trin can and probably go into deeper if she has more. I have not heard a thing about the actor who plays Braun. Not heard a thing about him being anywhere near shooting. So I don't know if Braun is in this or if they're keeping it secret. I don't know because I have yet to hear anything.
Well,
Because he can't-
the actor, yeah, he can't be with
He can't be with
Cersei.
Cersei because there's a lot of because they used to date, so now they're not they're not allowed to be
It's
together
in their
the same
contracts.
in their
actually.
contract. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking maybe there's a scene where Braun shows up and be like, "You think I'm just gonna let you die
He might
or
have sent
something?"
Bronn somewhere else, like to the
Yeah,
twins
'cause
or
I
to the
can't
Eyrie or something.
I can't imagine you're keeping Braun out of this season. He's been in there from season 1. I really can't see them just saying, "Okay, Braun, you're finished." I
Yeah,
can't.
he's gonna have like a minor role.
Braun's gonna
Yeah,
be
if it's
because
anything,
he's a fan favorite.
Yeah, if it's anything, it's gonna be like Trent said. It's gonna be like a quick interlude and an out. He really think about it. Braun's character is not about like, yeah, fight for justice. He's like, no, I'll fight. You give me money, and then I'll run off and do what I need to do.
Yeah.
So I think
He's a sidekick, and
Yeah.
we don't have any like loose ends to tie with Braun.
But
Yeah, and it's
didn't we
not like
see
he
it's
doesn't
him-
have,
not like
this
Jamie
arc
went with
to
him.
finish.
Jamie
Yeah,
went by himself, and he had
Yeah.
already sent Braun to
Yeah.
wherever Braun was going with his money. So unless Jamie stops along the way and picks him up on his way to
Yeah, I
Winterfell,
don't see that
th-
happening.
I don't see it happening either. But I have not heard anything about the
I
actor
think
in.
I think we saw set photos and we have of Braun manning a scorpion on King's Landing's bannerments. I could be wrong about that. I don't know. It was a
don't
past
remember
episode.
seeing that.
So if nothing else, let's any comments or no comments? Okay, let's move on to
Mhm.
so it's not actually it's cousin lovers. Danny and John walk towards the remaining dragon guarding.
Wait.
No.
They're not cousins though.
No,
This
that's
happens
not-
first.
The scene
Oh.
happens first with the
Oh,
bow.
sorry. Hand. Okay, sorry, my bad. Hand on the bow. John running through a fiery
Stop,
battlefield.
just hand on the bow. Just the hand on the bow right now. So we've got somebody's there. I can't tell if this is a brazier or if this is like fire. That looks
That's
like a.
fire.
It looks like a brazier, and brazier,
I
and I
fast
think
forwarded
it's
too much.
I think
It looks like King's Landing.
it could be King's Landing, or it
That's
could
hard
be
to tell from that.
it could be the Crips.
That's hard to tell
Oh
from that
yeah,
angle. 'Cause you
that's a
see nothing.
brazier.
Yeah,
So this right here is a brazier, and
Is
it's
that a-
low.
that's going to be significant. Whoever is the owner of that hand and bow is going to be
Mhm.
significant.
So
It's a small hand, and I've heard people say that this is actually definitely lines up with like shots of King's Landing and the throne room, and that's a little hand. So possibly.
But it's interesting to
Yeah.
see that little piece that's coming off of the cuff.
Yeah, I don't know what that. would
Yeah, I don't know
be.
what
It's
that
armor.
is.
that's armor, I think.
What?
I want to
What
say
kind
it
of
looks
armor?
like
It
armor.
looks like that though.
I don't
Looks
know.
like that just looks
I don't
leather
know.
to me.
Anyways, so we
Yeah.
also have John running through fiery battlefield, a group running to the door.
Wait. I don't think John's running through a fiery battlefield.
Well, I'm reading off what Chris put here, so
I put that there.
I don't know if that's
It
a
looks
battlefield.
like
it looks like it's a
like-
battlefield. I mean, he
looks like it's a tunnel.
full of plate. I mean, that's not a tunnel. That's a
No,
big
'cause
ass
it's
tunnel.
Well,
snowing.
but I
It's
can't I
snowing.
can't really tell because of the
Sorry.
weirdness of
Yeah.
the coloring.
So
So
it
yeah,
looks
maybe
like it's snowing in there.
It looks like
Yeah,
he's full out running to the king.
It looks like
That's-
he's running
that's a
to the gate.
battlefield.
Yeah.
That's a
And then-
battlefield. And then we got
and
some
then
veil.
Are they
Yeah.
Vale soldiers?
Well,
Well,
the
this
helmets
guy-
look like
The
it.
helmets look like veil.
Maybe Winterfell guys. It could be. Oops, going back.
We got
Okay.
it.
So now we've
This
got
is so quick. This is literally
Yeah.
like a
yeah.
second
This
and
is
a half.
that's definite in the battle. That's Winterfell battle. No doubt about that.
Yeah.
So let's get. I
They're,
wanna-
so obviously we're just by this sequence here we see they're retreating. They're retreating into Winterfell. That's what it shows to me.
Yeah.
So that would line up with the when we talked about all those folks down in the crypts. So if they're retreating for a reason.
Maybe.
Yeah. So there's we got
So
boots.
then
No,
you
there's Ghost.
have
Is that- is that-
Possibly. Yeah.
I
This
don't know if that's
possibly looks
Ghost.
like-
that looks like-
Ghost?
oh,
So this is gonna. I'm gonna have to back and forth this quite a few
Isn't
times.
Aria's direwolf is still
That
alive?
looks like
Nymeria.
paw. These look like paws. If you guys, oh god, I wish I could just take a screenshot and blow this up
So
for you guys.
so Nymeria is still alive, correct?
yeah. But she's
Nymeria
on
and
the.
Ghost are still alive.
Nymeria is in the south. Nymeria is more in the south, like because she got released when they. I want to say she's near the somewhere in the woods.
Those dire wolves will come though.
Yeah, but I mean, if that's
It looks also like horse hooves too.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely horses and possibly wolves. So I'll do it again and I'll try to do it slow.
So Big E thinks, I'm just going back while you do that. Big E thinks that it's either Theon or Arya in the throne room at King's Landing with the bow.
Okay,
Theon's a
both
good
of
shot.
them were bow.
Well, it would make
people.
sense being Theon because remember, Theon was very good. He was very good master bowman.
Mm-hmm.
so.
Had to be very careful how I said that. Master bowman.
Let's next scene then.
Then you've got John.
So they're not
Um,
cousins. They're aunt and nephew.
No,
I didn't write cousins.
So
I don't
cousin
know.
lovers, Danny and John walk toward the remaining dragons guarding them bones. Their aunt. Danny's John's aunt.
Yes.
What-
People. I don't know
whatever.
who wrote that.
What-
Aunt and
Anyways.
nephew.
I'm
it doesn't
nitpicking that.
matter. Whatever.
So there's a bunch of bones on the ground, and they just had breakfast.
Wonder what they ate.
So if you go,
Oryxes, probably.
yeah, they're. If you go forward a second, I want to see the
But
back
they're
shot.
they're definitely in a very secured location because you can tell.
Yeah.
Look how open the surrounding
Yeah.
area is. They're not afraid.
No.
Look at that. They're completely open. So they're definitely over the wall.
What's that?
Possibly. What's
What's
what?
that in between the legs of Drogon? That's
Way
where
off in
everyone
the
thinks
distance?
they're near the wall, one of the walls. Because look at that area. That looks like that's somewhere
It's-
near a wall.
It's entirely
wall.
possible. It's
So
entirely
that's why-
possible.
Because someone said on one of the things I was looking at, they were breaking down, said they're going towards Eastwatch, and that's the direction. I mean, again, this looks like I don't think they're beyond the wall. I think they're still they're still near, like, this could be where like Stannis was, because there's a large open space in the north. So I think they're still in the north, but this
I don't
is
know.
just
I think they're over the wall, John.
because there's a whole
Biggie
much open
says
space though.
John's getting his new ride. This might be where they take them out for the first time to ride.
That's true.
This is
So
in
then,
the
so
north.
then that in the distance could be the hills of Winterfell.
Yeah, that
'Cause
could
remember,
be
there's a lot of
Winterfell,
hills leading up
Yeah.
to Winterfell.
because
Mhm.
there's a lot of open space in the north. Like
There is, yeah.
like
it's the
Stannis was
biggest
able
of
to have
all.
his entire army. Like, I mean, there's a lot of open space. So that could be near
There
the wall.
she is in that white coat again, girl.
So you can see how they're
Danny?
lined up, and Danny is walking, and she's lined up with Drogon, and then John is lined
But
up with
John,
Rhaegal.
but John is looking at Drogon. I think John's gonna ride Drogon.
But she's never rode. I mean, I
Doesn't
guess
matter.
Yeah,
Doesn't
that is
matter.
true.
He
I
is
mean-
the offspring of Rhaegar Targaryen. It don't matter.
Which makes it make more sense that he would ride Rhaegal because Rhaegal's named after his
His
father.
father, correct.
That's true. Either way, this getting me so excited right now. Let me
Hello.
see. So let's go to the next scene then. We got
Shonda.
Sandra
She
looking
is so
like-
beautiful. Can I
She
just say?
is.
Yeah,
She
she is.
watched this young woman grow up from this meek, shy little girl, throughout the show, to see where Sansa is today, and even the actress herself. What a significant difference! And she is so pretty. She is so beautiful. She's such a good person. I've watched a lot of interviews with her. She's so humble. She's just a great
Yeah.
young lady.
So we have Sansa looking like Sansa, Arya fighting with a staff or spear, Danny looking sorrowful in a
I
room
think
Okay,
by
I
wait.
think
herself.
Arya. If
Go
I'm
back
not
to the
mistaken,
Arya. Yeah.
is that Arya practicing?
No, I think she's killing men.
So
she's
look
killing.
at can you guys see the brickwork in the background?
Yes.
I believe this is Winterfell because of that brickwork right there.
Okay.
And that's what makes me think that. And she is flipping. So remember when she was fighting the waif and practicing with the waif with the staff?
yes.
Like the waif kicked her butt all the time with the staff.
Yes.
I think this is her doing her.
No, there's
little
someone in the
whirly whirl.
background.
Now there's
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
somebody
There's
in the
people
back.
in the
Oh, no.
background.
Oh, and then this is a different cut because this is
Yeah.
a
So
different
if you
angle.
look, this has got to be right before she starts running through the halls of Winterfell,
Mate.
Yes.
Yeah,
because she's in the exact
Ooh,
same outfit and she
yes.
doesn't have the cut above her
You're
head yet.
right.
This looks
You're
like
right.
Bannerman's right here. This looks like one of the Winterfell Bannermans that she's fighting.
The
on. Yeah.
battlements. Yeah,
Yeah.
it does look like the battlements.
Yeah.
And then she definitely is looking angry, and then slices something.
There's
apart.
blood. That's a lot of blood, and I like it.
Sorry.
I don't know what
They
that is,
don't show a whole lot of her.
but I can tell you she's
She's
not
flipping
fighting a
around.
White Walker.
She's flipping around, and then there's a whole different scene because of the angle changes.
But if you see all that blood coming out, that's not a White Walker.
I don't
Then
know.
who's she fighting though?
I don't know because we saw battlements earlier, and we saw Brienne, and remember we saw like the blood. I think they have a little bit of blood in them, and they slice, a little bit is gonna come out. They don't know.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't
If you
think.
go
I don't.
back
Who are
to,
they
like,
fighting
Hard
then?
Home Stuff.
The only other thing, the
the
only other
zombie
people
people.
I can think of is the Golden Company.
I don't think
Yeah, but
the
I
Golden
don't think
Company's
Cersei's
gonna
su-
come up for the Battle of
Cersei will
Winter.
never send the Golden
Yeah,
Company
see,
north.
so John Surback says the same thing. Do White Walkers have blood? I don't think they do. Big E says Dany finds out that she killed the father. She killed the father and brother of her booty call's best friend, Samwell Tarly, and the man who served Jorah Mormont from Grayscale. That's probably true. But
I
yeah,
don't think it's
I'm with John Surback on this. I don't think the White Walkers have. But we have to get
They
confirmation.
have flesh. They're some of them are fleshy, and so there's some aspect. I think if we went back and saw pieces of Hard Home, where they're fighting, we would probably see a little bit of blood, not tons of it though.
I see.
But
I
my-
don't think
but
she'll
does-
send.
But if I'm not mistaken, and again, this is me going to anatomy class when I was, I haven't been there in a while, but blood can't flow and pump thoroughly without heat in the body.
It could be a
So-
freshly new corpse coming back to life.
Yeah, that's true. So B Strand 5 asks, could that be the Golden Company? I don't think, and this is just my opinion, I don't think the Golden Company is going to be sent to the battle at Winterfell. I just don't think they
Why?
are.
Cersei said to Jamie, if you go back, she's not gonna send the army. She's gonna stay and wait and fight the winner
Yeah,
or loser.
Yeah.
Like that's what she said. She's also said past in season 1 to Joffrey, you can't conquer the north. Why would anyone send Tywin? No one would send an army north. You can't. You're gonna lose. Tywin never sent an army north. It's impossible to send an army north. Like
Yeah.
you're in their backyard. Like it's just
Yeah.
you're cut off from supply
unless
line.
she thinks, and this is entirely a Cersei type of thing, unless she thinks if the dead are coming from the north and our guys are coming from the south, the Starks are not going to have anywhere to go.
Nah,
I
And
don't
the
think
only reason
it would
she
be like
does
a
that
waste
is if
of
she
money
feels it-
though.
Right,
But-
but the only reason why she does that is she feels that she's going to bend the knee to the king of the White Walkers.
but if you look at the demographics of Winter, like if
No,
you
I totally,
march,
John, I totally agree with you
yeah.
saying. Totally agree with what you're
But
saying.
here's the
But there's something in this scene. Either they are not in Winterfell, or there's something else going afoot, because that was like legit.
I definitely
lots of
think
blood.
they're in.
It's
I think
Winterfell.
they're in. And John Surbeck says maybe recently killed and raised
Yeah.
walkers have blood, and so you gotta. Jon Snow said, their army just grows by the day. Anybody who's
True.
dead or around,
True.
whether they're bones, whether they're fleshy, they can. And we also know that the Night King can turn living people into White Walkers because he turned all Craster's kids, all the babies, into White Walkers. So he could legitimately just.
But they have to be babies though.
No, he just has to touch them. He had to touch Rhaegal.
It's most
Or
likely-
Viserion. Remember Viserion?
Yeah.
He had to touch him.
It's most likely Winterfell
Yeah,
because
but
they
he was
shot.
dead though.
True.
It's most likely Winterfell because they spend 45 days shooting a nighttime battle with Winterfell. Like
Yeah.
it's their thing. So I think it's most likely Winterfell. Then we got Dany looking sorrowful in a room in Winterfell.
Yeah, that's the next scene. And
Tyrion looking in the air and a dragon breathing fire in the dark.
okay, let's one at a time.
Yeah.
So I think this scene with Dany, I think this could potentially be in the room where she's with John when he hears the news, or maybe she's told she's pregnant.
I think she's told she's pregnant.
I think she's told she's pregnant.
Because you can kind of see in her face, she's kind of like, crap, this is happening right now. But there's also like this sense of, oh my God, it's actually, I get to love another, like, you know what I mean? Like there's,
She didn't think she could have more kids.
right,
Can you
yeah.
play a little bit forward more? I want to see her.
It's gonna.
Or is
It
end
doesn't.
soon?
Yeah,
Okay,
it
never
ends.
mind.
She
Yeah,
just
that's
blinks.
it. That's all you get, just that little snippet.
Just her
Like right
face.
there, I'm thinking that's her. She's pregnant. Like that's
Yeah.
that's her pregnant.
And it's not necessarily like a sad. It's just like a. I didn't.
She's
think
like, a crap,
this
I
could
can't believe
be
it's happening
possible.
right now.
Yeah, terrible.
When we're
timing.
about, you know what I mean? Like, could this be any shittier timing?
Mhm.
Man, she's beautiful.
I have to ride into battle pregnant. Damn
Yeah,
it. And then you've got Tyrion. And this scene, a lot of people on the internet were like, oh, that's not in Winterfell because there's no snow on the ground. Well, it could be because when people walk around, the snow melts. So it could be in Winterfell somewhere. Like he could be
So
just
real quick,
in
John
the fighting
Servat
area.
says, think some of our beloved characters might get killed and raised by the Night King. Then maybe we'll see dead Hound or dead Brienne trying to kill the living. Maybe
Ooh.
dead Sansa is the one chasing Arya through the crypts in the beginning scene, or someone we know is chasing her.
Yeah, that's a total possibility. And a lot of people have said that as well on the internet that,
Dude, that's
You
gonna
know.
be a bitch way to like. I mean, think about it.
yeah, she's going to
That's
have to
gonna be a
kill
bitch
someone
way.
who's already dead that she knows. And that
Like,
would
come on.
suck.
That's
Yeah,
like so
it's-
tired, though. Think about it. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know the scene with. I don't know the scene with Tyrion. Though. That's weird.
Beastram5 says she will learn about the pregnancy after she learns about John. Oh, like his.
Oh
his,
yeah.
his
Because I bet
heritage
you the minute she
or
walks in the room,
parentage.
I bet you Bran's gonna know right away. Bran's gonna know right away as soon as she walks in the room. He's gonna know that she's carrying child. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think Bran
he
knows stuff like that. He might know that they had sex, but he's not going to be able to tell if she's pregnant. I don't think his powers work like that. I don't
Well,
know.
listen,
I don't know.
I don't know
though,
if he's got
honestly.
like special like laser beam eyes or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Unless he can see into the
So-
future and see that she has a baby. You know what I mean?
John Serback says, I think the scariest thing would be seeing someone we know going after Arya. You know what? It would be scary. Your thought process there would actually make a lot of sense with just the way we see her at the onset of the trailer. Just how like you could tell at the beginning part she's trying to be quiet, but she's trying to catch her breath. You know what I mean? Like she's like trying to calculate her next move.
Mm-hmm.
It very well could be somebody like a Sansa or a Brienne coming after her.
Sansa's not dying.
But
Oh,
well,
that's
but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely plausible because obviously she's went through and we know where she gets the damage. With the cut over her eye and then the wound in her shoulder. Obviously we see it right there when she's flipping around and then slicing the person open where all this blood splatters out. So we can deduce from that is the beginning of wherever dead Ned. Oh Jesus, don't say that.
No,
Too
stop,
soon.
stop. Whoever said that.
I mean, that would
Split-
be something that she couldn't handle. Like, how does she
Yeah.
kill her own father? Plus,
True.
his head was chopped off and they sent his bones
Yeah.
back, so it would be hard to tell that it was Ned.
Yeah,
I
poor
don't-
Ned lost his head, everybody.
So then we got dragon breathing fire in the dark.
So you've got Tyrion.
Yeah, I can't.
looking
You
up.
know what? This was the one part of the trailer I couldn't figure out
Mhm.
because
And it's the only time in the trailer we see.
And he's
Tyrion.
looking up. He's
yeah, it's
looking up.
the only time we don't see snow on the ground. Number one, it
Mhm.
looks like he's on a beach, like a black, like sand.
That looks like sand. Yeah.
Do you
Mhm.
know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it
So I
does.
don't know.
They might be leaving to go somewhere else. Maybe this is later. This could be, and actually somebody said this earlier. If I scroll up in the comments, who was it?
What if this is Dragonstone?
Wait, what if Tyrion they get all the way to what if they get all the way to wherever the hell they were going to get to the north and then they get off of the
Big E. I'm sorry. Big E said HBO is not going to show us the second half of the season. We only saw scenes from the first 3 episodes, with the exception of Tyrion. That Tyrion scene, there isn't any snow in it. He said that way earlier in the podcast.
Yeah,
And-
but I think if this is what I'm thinking, it may be at the back half of the of the season. But if I'm not mistaken, the Battle of Winterfell, that's season, that's the episode 3,
Episode
correct?
3, yes.
So this very well could be them getting off of the ship and maybe Dany sending him away. Because you can see in his face, he looks very conflicted. He looks very upset. But on the same hand, Biggie could be right.
also-
This could be all the way toward the back half when maybe he's faced with something we're not totally ready for yet.
When was the last time he had this face, though? I feel like I've seen this face on Tyrion when he
that's when he
watched
shot his
boat
father
sex.
on the shitter.
Oh, I was going to say when he was watching the boat sex.
That's
He
true.
had that sort of
Boat
like,
sex, that's where we're
I'm a
boat
little
sex now.
concerned. I'm a little, this should be happening. He could be looking up at Jon on a dragon.
That's
Yeah, but
interesting.
then you would think that the ground would still have snow. This one's a
that's
mystery
true.
to me. This particular
And
scene,
he's
but I
not
like.
wearing winter clothes too, so there's that too.
It's true. He's not wearing winter garb. Correct.
So let's get to we get scene 12. Brienne,
Yes,
Paul,
look at
Joanne with
that.
Unsullied and Knights of the Vale awaiting the battle.
I love
Oh,
these
sorry,
dragons.
there's this scene too.
I freaking love these dragons.
So this scene kind of made me think, and I know that people aren't going to be able to see it very well on our YouTube broadcast because it's so dark, but there's no snow in the background, and he is breathing fire.
Oh God, look at that. That is
So,
just. Oh,
I've
bravo,
heard.
HBO, bravo.
Burning the mountain alive.
Woo.
No, I've heard people say that they were using his dragon fire for forging. Like maybe they brought him to where the
Remember
forge was.
how they forged the Iron
Valyrian.
Throne?
Yeah, it's
No,
also
that's how
how
you do Valyrian
Valyrian
steel.
steel. Yeah.
Oh, Sam knows. Sam had all those archive
That's
books.
true.
Sam,
my God,
Sam
that's
took
right.
a bunch of books with them. Remember?
He had all
snuck
the
into that-
scrolls. Yes.
So
Sam
it's
snuck into-
possible. It's possible that with Gendry, who worked under Tobomont.
Yes, because we
Tobomont?
see Gendry like he's in a foundry too.
Mm-hmm. So
Mhm.
you've got Gendry, who worked under someone who was one of the very few people who could work Valyrian steel or knew how. You've got Sam's knowledge and all of the scrolls and stuff that he
And
brought
Bran.
back.
See, this is why you come to Behind the Iron
Yeah,
Throne,
Bran.
everybody, because we figure this shit out. Because
So,
that's what we
it's
do.
Very possible that they're using Dragonfire to create more Valyrian steel
Oh,
or
that'd be
to
lit.
help with the dragon glass, maybe making it better or stronger or
Think about it.
weaponizing it better. I'm not sure.
Oh,
they
that
make
would be
more dragon glass?
sexy as hell.
I don't think they can make more dragon
Because
glass.
what's dragon glass really? What is that? Is that just like obsidian rock or something like that?
It's
The similar
obsidian.
obsidian
Well,
type
it's
thing?
obsidian. Yeah.
Obsidian, and I think it's like infused with magic.
I mean, you technically could forge it, but only if you had Children of the Forest. Because if I'm not mistaken, the Children of the Forest are the ones that lent their magic to it. Correct?
He could be in
Yes.
that cave to forge to get more. I don't know.
Which
I
might
think
be
you're right, though.
why they went beyond the wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so B Strand 5 says ice is back. So that's a good point
They're
because
not going to reforge ice. though.
Brienne has
That's true.
Oathkeeper
Why?
and Jamie's coming back with Widow's Wail. So if both of them die or somehow that happens, they can take those and remake
you
ice. That would be
wouldn't
really weird.
reforge ice until later because you need
Right.
2 Valyrian swords, and ice is not like a melee weapon. That's just like a ceremonial executional weapon. So I don't see them reforging. Maybe at the end, after everything's done, maybe he reforges it. But you have 2 Valyrian steels.
Well, think about it. The only way you would reforge ice is if, like John said, if Brienne was down and Jamie was down, because and because Trent said who had which sword, right? And the only way you reforge that is because you're putting the king or the queen on the Iron Throne.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
later though. Like I said,
Yeah,
that's after.
That could be a prelude.
That could be the very last episode, possibly.
Yeah. So let's
So-
get to the last. So we got Brienne, Paul, Joran, and the Unsullied and Knights of Vale awaiting the battle.
I don't know if they can see this very well, but in the background, you've got what looks like trebuchets.
Yeah.
Trebuchets.
Trebuchets or ballistas. Well, probably
Trebuchets.
trebuchets, yeah.
Those would be trebuchets
Yeah.
because they're
'cause they're the long-
throwing
yeah,
things.
yeah,
Yeah. And then these guys are You can see the shield is the Veil of Aaron. So these are all Knights of the Veil, because you've got these shields.
Pod!
And there's Podrick and of course Brienne with the Knights of the Veil behind them. And then
Yeah, this is them standing on the line and waiting because they know that what's on the horizon.
Yeah, that's
So
definitely
this is the moment where the Dead Army and the Night King show up.
Mm-hmm. So you've got Knights of the Veil there. You've got Jorah Mormont has a little tear in his eye. I don't know if you can see it. It looked like he had a little tear in his eye.
There's Winterfell.
Yep. And then the very last scene is the general. That's not the Night King. That's his general.
That's the guy that looks like he needs Jergens. The very wrinkled guy.
Yes, with the long hair.
Yeah.
So then that was the end of that. But that last scene was almost, let's see if I can.
Sorry, I'm back.
Yeah. Was the same as.
So.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, what do you got? I got dropped for a second there. I'm just trying to get catched up here.
We were just talking about the end scene where they're standing on the line and we see the general, the knights, the dead knight general.
So do we think that Night King will be there, or because I would have think the dragon would have saw some type of dragon, or like
I don't know. I don't know if the Night King will show up, because I don't think you want to throw everything you have at that battle.
Right.
We mentioned this last year. We mentioned this in the past. He could split his army and start sending guys south, because he's got a huge army. And I'm wondering if he's going south. If he goes south and he sends an army there, I mean, that could be I've always said that could happen, because throwing everything, I mean, he could do both. I mean, we could see the battle. We could see the dragon battle over Winterfell, but.
Yeah, so there's Tormund. Yeah, and but they're very slow coming through the forest. Very slow.
Because the one advantage that.
Look at that. That is just, oh God, what are they going to do?
Well, like the one advantage I think the living has is they're better fighters. Because I don't know how good these outside of the generals, like the guys with the long white, you know what I mean? Like outside of them, I don't know if the dead is like that skilled.
I don't think honestly, John, I don't think it matters. I think it's just the sheer numbers. Yeah.
The overwhelming numbers is going to be what gets them. But I mean,
yeah, it's just sheer numbers.
This guy here, he's a general.
Yeah, that's definitely a general.
They're the generals. And then oh my God!
This is the guy that you're gonna see. This is the horse with this guy on it.
Yeah, I have a feeling. I have a feeling that this might be the guy Arya fights.
Yeah, and I think he's the guy that Arya runs from.
It's possible. They're gonna get into Winterfell.
Yeah,
they're gonna penetrate.
Based on set photos and what we've talked about in the past, Winterfell's falling and they're retreating to the south. Because we see a scene, we see in the set photos Jon and Cersei in King's Landing. So we are going to see Winterfell's falling and they're retreating to the south, just like the original Long Winter's Night.
I definitely wanted to talk about the photos.
Let's do it.
Entertainment Weekly also put out photos, and if you guys didn't see them, we have them here for you. And
comments first before about the last scene, or
no, we didn't have any.
Okay, good. Let's get to these photos now.
All right, so here you've got the Night's King, and
definitely needs Jergens.
Yeah, if you look at his eyes, can you guys see?
He's got eyelashes.
No, look at what his eyes are. 7-pointed stars.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa, good find. Holy
nice.
crap.
It wasn't my find. Somebody else found it, but I thought that was very, very interesting in the Night King.
Bravo.
I like to call him like the winter Darth Maul.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
Something is definitely up with that.
Yeah, because we were gonna do with Andrea last time we talked. We were gonna do a theology special about it, and we didn't quite get to it. Maybe we'll do it after the season.
Wonder if that'll shed light as to who he was when he was in the land of the living.
Well,
he was
faith
a Stark.
wasn't. Yeah. Well, that's the common theory. Is he's a Stark.
Yes.
But he predates the faith, right? Because that's like old god. Like
you
he's-
would
yes.
think that he
you would
does.
think he would follow what the children followed, which was, I believe, the children followed the old gods. Yeah, they did. They followed the old gods in the Weirwood tree. So I figured
So-
he would follow that and not because it was the old gods, and
Yeah.
then the faith came in when the Andals invaded.
Yeah.
So he's probably following so he's with the old gods.
Yeah, I don't know if he goes back that far, but Mama
No.
Cheryl says if you kill the general, doesn't his whole army fall as well?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Just the ones that he made. Yes.
And then Mama Cheryl says, "Good eye, Trin," pun intended. John Surbeck, yes, Mama Cheryl. And then B Strand 5, one of the many faces of death. That's true.
Are there any other set photos or?
Yes,
They're gonna have to kill him. That's just the ball game. I think the only way, I think that they're gonna realize how bad the battle is going, and I have a feeling that John is he's gonna meet him somewhere, and the two of them are gonna square off. John is I think, in my opinion, I think John is the only one that's gonna be able to fight him.
I agree.
So
And I
this
think
isn't- oh, sorry, this is.
I've had a theory, Julie. Oh, sorry. Go.
Now that's
Yeah,
an
that's a nice-
interesting outfit because it's in the scene we saw her standing on the dock. We think it's the
Mhm.
dock. Wasn't that more black?
Yes,
This one
it was
shows
all black.
more
This
of
is
a ruby
red.
velvet.
This is very much her Lannister colors.
Interesting. So then she's going to be in full Lannister garb for some reason.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
And then what else do I got here? Let me. Sorry. They also had. Oh, so this picture of Bran that they made as one of their covers. This is so Professor X. It's
Oh
crazy.
my God.
Oh my god.
Look who it is.
I know.
I love
right?
it.
It's
Chris's
the,
favorite character. It's Chris's favorite
It's
character.
as soon as I get back. Of course, we're looking at the creepy Wheeler.
Yeah, but this, I mean, if you think about it, I gotta find a picture of Professor X sitting in a wheelchair, and they have the same powers. Like Bran is essentially Professor X of Game of Thrones.
Oh,
Now,
good
Trin,
grief.
do we only have cover shots? We don't have anything from inside this.
No, I just have these. These are posed pictures. I do. There was a really cool one that they.
I like the one with the hound in the mountain. That was actually really good. The one
Yeah.
you showed us earlier.
Yeah, that was a good
Let
one. The
me-
Night King looked awesome with the star in his eyes, a 7-pointed
That
star.
was crazy. I didn't even notice that. And when she pointed that out, I was like, what?
So this was on the set of Casterly Rock, I guess, because it looks like. Oh, sorry.
Oh, just for
Um,
the record, though, notice how there are no pictures, nothing of, I don't know, what's his name? Cyril Farrell or Jock and
Oh,
Hagar.
right. No.
Well,
So
look at
this was
this one I like
photoshopped.
because look at, this is photoshopped.
Yeah, you can
So,
tell.
okay, so you can look at the picture of John and Danny.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely wedding day.
Right.
I love.
Well, that's kind of how they showed up. She showed up in that dress.
that coat. Girl, you are on point, Danny.
So this is
I
not
don't-
originally.
I
in
really
King's
wish Yardley
Landing?
was here because Yardley, your girl is on fire. She's looking hot in
No,
that.
this is
outfit.
definitely photoshopped in.
Oh,
You
so this
can-
is Photoshopped in King's Landing.
No, it's. I
No,
think
no,
it's
it's
The
Castle
whole
Casterly
thing,
Rock.
the whole thing is
Cassie Rock, sorry,
photoshopped.
Cassie Rock.
Yeah, but it's very much photoshopped.
You can tell when you look at Brienne's head and Sam against the backdrop. Definitely
Yeah,
tell. You can see it.
yeah, and if you know how tall John is compared to Sansa, and their eye lines are about the same, like there's no way he's that tall. He's shorter than. Yeah, it was completely photoshopped. It's a great picture, but it's obviously photoshopped
Yeah.
because Sandor Clegane is not the same size as Melisandre. He's like
Yeah,
a foot taller
that's-
than her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's-
John's probably the same height as
But
Bran in
the
the
fact
wheelchair.
that you're seeing a
Right.
picture of Melisandre, that means Melisandre's in this season.
Oh yeah, she's
Yeah,
definitely
she's
coming
gonna
back.
do some stuff, man.
I think she's gonna bring the
Red
the rest of the
Priests?
fire priests from
Yeah.
Volantis.
I'm hoping we get like some Red Priest Knights and like
Yeah.
just an army of Red Priest Knights. That'd be sick. In red
I
armor.
mean, they're
I
all
I love
fire.
the John and Danny part of this photo. I
Yeah.
gotta say I love it. As everybody now, I've gotten hip to the words. I'm totally shipping them. Totally.
Yeah. So, and in this picture, you can see Cersei again in that
That red velvet. Yeah.
sort of thing where she's got these X's on her. I'm not sure. And then you've got Arya with that cape, that half like across the shoulder cape thing.
Mhm.
and then the really pretty white dress of Daenerys.
That's beautiful. I love that coat.
Yeah,
Whatever
it's
coat
just
thing.
Entertainment Weekly. You guys can Google it and look at the pictures.
Is this all we've got, Trin? Just those?
There's some more that are possibly relevant. Let me see. This one of Arya. It's kind of it shows you that sort of coat thing she's got again. Sorry, let me get a better shot. There you go.
Mama Cheryl says, "Hi, Brian."
Yeah, he was just in the studio here. Come on over here, Brian. If you're watching live, you can see my son. His hair's purple today. So this is my son, Brian.
It's my munchkin man.
And if you're watching live, he's got the haircut with the purple like his daddy, except for my hair isn't purple because I'm not able to pull that off anymore. My son does not watch Game of Thrones, right?
Hi, Julie.
Hi, buddy.
Say hi to all the people watching behind Iron Throne.
I love this.
Hi, everybody.
I love this picture.
Yeah, that's a good picture. It definitely shows off their
Look at the red inside
now.
the coat.
Yeah.
Oh God, I love
Yeah,
it.
Daenerys looks really cold.
She does. She looks freezing. That's okay. John will keep her warm. Bow, bow, bow.
Anything
My
else
little-
or
My little munchkin man.
any other photos?
So overall, guys, what did you
Ooh,
think?
I like this one.
Oh yeah, that is a good one. Overall,
That looks like King's Landing.
am I muted? No.
No, we got you,
All right.
bro.
Overall, watching the trailer, if you guys could rate a trailer 1 to 5, 5 being the best, 1 being the worst, what would you rate this trailer at? 5 would be perfect, like absolutely amazing, epic, no faults at all. 1 would be crap. And a lot of people are saying hi, Brian, to you live, so you can just say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
And say winter has come.
Winter has come.
There you go. Good. So, what would you rate it as, John?
5 swords out of 5. Perfect. It did just enough. It did just enough to show. It didn't show us too much, so we didn't get spoiled. It showed just enough. It was it displayed or pervade the doom that's coming. The threat and I just a lot of good scenes in this. So I'm gonna give it 5 swords out of 5.
Yes. How many swords is what I meant to say. Thank you, John Surbeck. I'm getting my shows confused.
I like that picture too.
Well, how could you not like any picture with Melisandre in it?
Well, no, I like the Sir Davos looking at her like.
Yeah. I like
wants
both
to
of those
murder
as
her.
actors.
No, actually, he doesn't look that way in that photo. I think he looks like he's genuinely wanting to understand her. I think after she went through what becoming very humanized, I think it changed a lot of. I mean, obviously, it doesn't change the fact that she murdered a child, but
I'll
I'm just
never
saying,
forgive her.
No, I wouldn't. No,
Never.
but I'm just saying, like, you
All
can
right.
kind of tell.
All right, Julie, what's your sword rating?
I don't think this trailer could have been any better. I mean, we've literally gone through every single possible scenario backwards and forwards. We've watched it. I mean, I don't think I've ever watched a trailer for a television show, even a final season, more than I have not even The Sopranos. And I'm still I keep watching it because you're constantly finding little nuggets and you're constantly trying to figure out, you obviously we know it's coming. We know the season's coming, but we're chomping at the bit. We've waited almost a year and a half now for this new season. So we're all chomping at the bit. We want it so bad. I think it is probably the best trailer for a television show and even of a movie I think I've ever seen. Putting them into both categories. I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. This is
That's the best picture.
yeah, that is actually a very, very, very good picture. But it's like, for me, it's the culmination of everything. This is gonna be crazy. It's kind of like bittersweet, but it's exciting at the same time. I don't want this show to end, but on the same hand, it's like, damn, here we are, and you're kind of pumped.
Now here's your true prince it was promised. Jamie fucking Lannister.
He looks really, really thin in that picture.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He does.
I like Coster Waldau in everything I see him in now. I don't know why. I just really like him as an actor.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's also wearing northern garb.
Oh yeah, that's a great point.
Well,
Like
he's probably cold as hell.
There
You-
were some scenes where he was legitimately in armor that looked like the same armor Jon Snow was wearing.
Yeah, I know you guys already talked about it, but one of my favorite lines, second parts of the trailer that was awesome was when Jaime Lannister says, I promised to fight for the living and I'm going to hold up to my promise. And isn't that something like Jon Snow said at one point?
Yeah,
the
we
main
did go
traitor.
into that. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna call this out. Mama Cheryl says, usually I like younger guys, but Davos is hot. When you rock on with your bad self, Mama Cheryl. You rock on with your bad self.
That's a good picture of all the
Yes,
Starks
I love
together.
that. I
Of
love
course,
that.
John.
Yeah,
There's
that's
no
really
doubt.
cool.
If I took any picture of any two Starks and put any Stark, and if I put Stark in front of a garbage pile of corpses, you would still be like, yes,
Well,
Starks.
I think the reason why I really like this is because look at how much they've grown. Not just obviously, in age and everything, but you can see the more
Yeah.
seasoning in their faces of what
Yeah.
they've been through, and
Yeah.
you can just see that they've been to hell and back, and here they are.
So
Still
four,
standing. These
Yeah.
four.
four
Poor
smart
kids.
ones, and the others are dead.
Dude, that's not right. That's too
That's
soon.
not- Yeah, man.
No,
That's too
it's
soon,
not.
bro.
Come on, Chris.
These are
Poor
they're the
Rob.
survivors.
Poor
The
Rob,
strongest
man.
survive.
Although Rob's new show is actually really good. If
And
anybody
he's
ever,
Bodyguard.
Bodyguard's a really
He's
great show.
also rumored to be up for James Bond.
No. From what I've understood, Daniel Craig is signing on to it.
Oh, I thought.
Because
okay.
I thought he's the next, like after whatever Daniel Craig's done with. I thought he's like the next rumored Bond after Daniel Craig.
Maybe from what I know that Daniel Craig is doing the next Bond because the young man who plays
Yeah,
Freddie
Rami Malek.
Mercury is
No,
the
but after
villain.
that.
The
After
villain.
that.
I don't know.
That
I don't.
actually
I've
is-
heard him, and I've also heard Idris Alba.
Yeah, those are the two
Yeah.
front runners for the next Bond. That's what I've heard.
So back to Game of Thrones.
True, John Sturback. You're right. John did die once. You're right.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I like that picture.
What is the deal? Are we still caring about Missandei and Grey Worm? I mean,
Not
Missandei.
really. I'm kind of over it.
Me too. I mean, Missandei is very nice, and to
I
waste
don't
her
understand how
on
you're gonna be able to do anything when
eunuch.
you do anything.
I
I
mean,
haven't answered
scissors.
in terms of their character arcs, like
Yeah.
he's a soldier and he's going to die in battle. Period.
Boring.
That's how that's gonna be written.
Should've known that.
She's an advisor to Daenerys, and so once Daenerys is dead, like what's her role in the world except to maybe help advise Jon how to raise the baby? Like I don't know what her point would be where her character is going in the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's to me, it's like snooze fest. I'm over that.
It was cool, like when it first happened, like when they were first like hinting at it, and
Yeah.
then it got really old really quick.
Yeah, it's just there's
So
no
many more
point.
important things they could have pulled from the books
Mhm.
than that.
Truth.
Yeah.
Anywho, are those all the pictures, Trin?
Yeah.
All right, so Trin, it's your turn. How many swords do you give this trailer?
Oh, people are gonna be mad at me. I'm gonna have to say like 4.5 or 4 3/4 because this was not a full season trailer. This was
Enough to wet my whistle.
at best the first 3 episodes trailer. So it didn't give me anything past the battle to really sink my teeth into as far as like what's the resolution of all this, where's this going? Yeah, there's been battle after battle, and then there's this Game of Thrones, and their whole promo for the last couple of months has been hashtag for the throne. Is there even gonna be a throne at the end?
Total,
Like-
they're doing the sleight of hand, like, hey, throne, and it's not.
Yeah. So it's not a full 5 stars for me. It's just under it because we did get, highlights of battle. We did get highlights of these beautiful moments of them going to Winterfell, and you do see Cersei and you do see her drinking wine. So
You can't have a trailer for Game of Thrones without Cersei sipping
Yeah.
on some wine.
Right? So it gives you a lot of answers that you want, but then at the same time, I still don't know anything about how this is going.
I'm going to say for me, it's 4 stars. 5 is perfect, and it's very hard to ever get anything perfect with me. So I say 4. I think the trailer did what I was expecting it to do, getting me excited for the next season. And with so much silence, in the last 2 years, it was nice to have this trailer. I mean, look at it this way. How long was the trailer? Under 2 minutes. And we're 219 minutes into this podcast? Something like that, So I think it definitely got people talking. It got conversations stoked. And it, more importantly, it sold us as Game of Thrones fans that this is going to be epic to watch and to, get back in the gear of Game of Thrones because we're going to go out with a bang. I think a lot of expectations are going to be met and more are going to not be met because it is going to be a bittersweet ending. And with this little bit of a taste, it gave me at least a lot of things to think about. And I certainly had a great time with you all, with my co-hosts and, of course, everyone watching live and even people that are listening after the fact. We love doing this podcast, and this has been an amazing journey with all of you. And I'm going to be sad to see it all end. So I'm looking forward to all this, and I think the trailer was great. With that being said, we're going to end the podcast here. If you want to stick around for a few minutes for the post show, that's great. I want to say thank you, Julie, for being on the podcast. And if you want to do any shout outs or what you're working on, please do so now.
The only thing I want to shout out is I just want to shout out my brother. I didn't get a chance to do it on the 200th episode. My brother had a vision to just bring entertainment to people. And, him and I growing up, it was rough. We've survived a lot. And we're so close and we're so strong together, him and I, that we just love this kind of stuff. We're nerds. We play video games together. We read Harry Potter together. We watch these kind of shows together.
When my PlayStation's not broken.
When his PlayStation's not bricked. But, I can't thank my brother enough for deciding to put himself out there for everybody, all of you to hear and all that stuff. But, to be able to put together this community of nerds that we have a chance to really talk about what we love and we can do it and we can still be friends at the end of the day. Like, obviously, last week, John and I, we had a heated discussion, but this week, we're understanding of each other. And that's what nerds do. It's always the theories and always this and always that. And I'm grateful that my brother was able to bring all of us together. I mean, we've gotten to know John so much and Yardley and Trin and Kelly and all the people that you remember. And I want to thank my brother for, allowing me to be a part of this, even for the little part that I do play in it. But I'm so grateful to my brother, and I'm just going to shout out my brother.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very nice. I was not expecting that. And if you think Julie and John have at it, you should hear John and I go at it when we talk about Batman versus Superman.
Or when they talk about Star Wars.
Or Star Wars. That was pretty bad. Speaking of which, this Saturday coming up, anyone know the date for this Saturday coming up off the top of their heads for me? That would be amazing because
Give me 2 seconds.
totally
16th.
Okay, so the March 16th, if you like this podcast, you might like our podcast called Nerd Theater. You can find Nerd Theater anywhere you find your podcasts by typing in either Nerd T, that's TNERDT, or just typing in Nerd Theater. And John, myself, I think Julie will be there if she can make it. Trin, and even the co-owner of Total Nerd Takeover Studios, Trish, might be there.
Trish the Dish.
The Dish for Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, because we're in the DC movie reviewing. And we review different nerd movies and stuff like that, like ones that no one's ever heard of, ones that were back in like black and white, and ones that, are more modern today. It's a lot of fun. It is explicit, so, we don't want little kids hearing it. And that's going to be this Saturday. We're going to record it. So subscribe to that podcast and join us there. John, thank you so much for being on the podcast. And please, any shout-outs you'd like to do? Now is the time, my good sir.
Like you said, check out Nerd Theater this Saturday. Julie made me emotional there for a second with that. So I want to say thank you, Chris,
It was
for
very touching. I'm
putting me on the
You're
podcast.
welcome.
I mean, I met a lot of great people on this podcast. You know, Yarly, Julie, and yeah, we had heated, but I don't think it was heated. I did think it was just like emotional, like
Passionate.
passionate debate. This is what happens when you debate. So, I met so much great people. Andrea, Trin, Chris. Thank you for letting us do a podcast today. Sometimes this podcast helps me in like many ways. I was going through a lot in my 200 episode, and even just recently, I lost a friend. She decided she don't want to be friends with me anymore for some reason, and this, like I said, this podcast will get me through, and the community gets me through all that stuff. So, like I said, we have a great community, and I really love you guys, and I can't wait to see you guys at the con. So that's all we have to say.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun seeing everybody at the Ice and Fire Con and meeting some of the people that we made relationships in this community. And like you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for those shout outs. But some of my best friends and the people I'm closest to, either I've never met in real life, like we've never actually interacted physically, or they slept over my house when they were in need. So you guys have been an amazing team.
Had the best
And-
drunk episode ever.
Yeah, we've gone through so much podcasting from people that stuck with us and pushed through and made something special here. And regardless what happens to this podcast in the future, we plan on continuing to make podcasts forever, like the Yes You Can podcast.com. And I hope to have everybody incorporated into our stuff, no matter what it is. And we're going to continue to make content, regardless of, whether it's Thrones or Nerd Theater or Apple Time or video games or whatever. We have some plans. It's just things take time. So I want to thank Trin, who has been a great friend, an amazing friend, an amazing part of the show.
We're gonna be huge someday.
I hope so.
Yes.
What do you mean someday? We already are.
Now we're gonna.
Beat it, baby.
We're probably Z or X-rated celebrities.
Hashtag Thrones.
I was
Yeah, but
actually
we have,
noticed
like,
at the
a
King of
really
Prussia
great
Mall the other day.
crew. We're really have this solid crew, and we've got a lot of talent and a lot of potential, and we're not quitting even after Game of Thrones is over. So I think you're gonna see a lot more of us, and hopefully those of you that like us continue to follow us.
Yes, please do.
And yeah, just keep the dream alive. We're here, and we're gonna be entertaining you, or talking to you, or making fun of each other, or fighting.
Yes, that's true. And I gotta tell this quick story. I've been noticed twice. One was with one of my customers from my day job, and they're like, "I know you from your YouTube channel. You review, technology," which is true. I have a YouTube channel. I do that. And I had another person recognize me yesterday. My son and I were at the King of Prussia Mall, and I got these new running shoes because I want to do trail running. And we were at the mall, and this girl stops, and she's pointing right at me, and she goes, "Oh my God, that's that Chris guy." And I didn't notice that. My son pointed it out, and he pulls on my arm. He goes, Daddy, that girl said your name. She knows you, and she's staring at me, and she's pointing. I'm like, oh, shit. So my son and I, we hauled ass out of there. Because I don't know whether it was good or bad. She might have been like, there's that guy that reviewed those headphones and recommended them, and I bought them, and they suck. I'm going to go punch him in the mouth. So we got the hell out of Dodge. But it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun being with all of you. Like, I cannot tell you how honored I am to be a part of all this. And just keep following us, because we're going to keep on making content, and I appreciate the community. That's 100% why we love doing this. It's because of you guys, the community. So thank you, co-hosts. We'll see you this coming Sunday, the 17th. We're going to be doing our live episode here at BehindTheIronThrone.tv at around 8 o'clock Eastern time, 7:30, 8 o'clock Eastern time. And we're going to be doing part 2. That's right, because we still have all those characters to go over.
There's a lot of characters.
The next upcoming is supposed to be Sir Davos, Euron Greyjoy, the Hound, Jaime Lannister, Jon Snow, and then if we get to it, Lord Varys, Missandei, and Melisandre, and Sam Tarly, possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
We missed the
that's a heavy
character.
order.
We missed the character.
Who did we miss?
Ron.
Do we really need to talk about Dream
Oh,
Creeper 2.0?
No.
No,
Bronn?
Bronn, not
Oh,
Bronn.
I don't know if that
My bad.
we
I
can
don't think
add him
he's
in, but
Yeah, he's not really like.
he's not a big contender here.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean,
He's an awesome character, but
But
notice
been
how
in
he's not
since
in the
season one.
trailer at all.
we'll think
But
about it.
we saw him in set photos on King's Landing, right, with the scorpion, or was
I thought that
on a
was for
past
season
episode?
7.
No, season 8. I think I don't know. Whatever.
Okay,
It's-
either
I'm just
way,
saying.
if you
I'll
want to
check
add
it out.
him, add him on the list. But it's probably going to end up being a 3-parter. So
Yeah.
we're going to hit part 2 because we only have 4 Sundays left, 4 weeks left, something like that before the new season starts. So we got to get these
Yeah.
characters done because now on our new schedule, I should probably mention this. I know this show's running long, but on the new schedule, what we're going to do is, due to our real life commitments, we're not going to be able to record Sunday night right after the episodes like we used to. So what we're going to do instead, I just got to make sure, I'm pretty sure everyone here can do this. On Monday night, the following night, Monday night, we're going to record around 7:30, 8 o'clock. And we're going to stick to our format, our reviewing format that's very quick so we can get the show in and out because, a lot of us have to work the next day very, very early in the morning. Some of us are secret agents. I'm not going to mention her name, Trin. But we have to be very careful about our schedules. Now, what that means is after the season is over, we're going to do the expanded review, the more in-depth review of the entire season 8. So it's going to be like a double bonus for all of our fans and everyone that loves the Game of Thrones. So that's the plan going forward. I think I mentioned everything. Oh, don't forget Ice and Fire Con at the end of April. You have to go. Please go. I want to meet you guys, and I really want to see people at the meet and greet. I don't want to be the only person standing in the hall looking for a fan to come in. Like, I don't want to have to start throwing money. Come on, you come in here and hang out with us, please. I'd like to see some people show up and use the code Thronies. You guys have earned it. It's $5 off. You've been following us for years. Use the code. Join us at Ice and Fire Con. It's going to be a hell of a good time. You can actually drink with Trin. And if enough people want, I'll drink with you too.
And me.
And John, and maybe an orgy. That'll be in Lobby 16. Bring your togas.
Also, we might be, I don't know if I should say this, but we might be looking into switching to Get Vocal.
Oh, yes,
it
we may
worked
be
for
doing
us
that,
in the
yeah.
past, guys, to look. If you guys get a chance, fans look into Get Vocal. We'll still be doing, you're still going to get the podcast on iTunes and stuff, but
Yep.
we're thinking about doing a Get Vocal. Worked with, we did an episode near theater on Get Vocal. It looks really good, guys. Check that out. So we might be doing that.
That's a good point you mentioned that because what we're planning on bringing you guys in the show and not just reading your comments. So the idea is with Get Vocal, we can bring you in the show, and then you can actually say, "Hey, I like this" or "I like that," and we give you a bit of time and have your face on the screen and hear your voice on the podcast. So we're looking into moving in that direction. In the meantime, that's it. We got a good show. We'll see you guys next weekend for another great adventure with Behind the Iron Throne. Boo!
Yeah. Ice
Boom.
and Fire Con.
It's going to be crazy. Are we done?
All right, we're done. John's like,
I'll
are we
leave.
done?
Yeah,
I have to go to
I
the
found-
bathroom.
Really
I have to go to the
quick,
And I
bathroom, but
found
I
more photos.
have to talk to
I
Chris
found
and
some too.
Trin
I was
about Ice
gonna-
and Fire Con.
Holy
some
shit! I've
questions.
got a photo. The one I showed you of Varys. There's a burning wagon wheel or something in the background. This entire photo shoot, this entire one for Entertainment Weekly, is in Casterly Rock.
Oh,
I think they survive and push back to Casterly Rock
maybe.
because. Let's see if I can share this one.
Hang on.
That-
uh,
Theon and
What?
then Tyrion.
Oh, yeah.
Like what?
There's a photo shoot. So there's also a picture, and I can't. Hang on. Now I gotta I downloaded it and it didn't work.
Trin,
Yeah.
I got Ultras,
Got what?
Ultra running shoes.
Ultras? I
I'll
don't
be
know
right
what
back.
ultras are. Okay.
They're running shoes, apparently.
Yeah, I thought that you would have known what they were. They're the shoes I was talking. They're like trail running shoes. They're 0 drops.
Oh, I think yeah.
Yeah, I just got them. I'm excited to try them. I may take them to Ice and FireCon and run when we do that 5K in the morning.
I was gonna say you don't want to really do a 5K in trail running shoes.
Well, they're really awesome. They're not trail running shoes like you would think.
Mhm.
They're really pretty awesome. I don't have regular running shoes and ultras. I do have Nikes, but I think I may switch everything over to Zero Drop. They're
Okay.
really comfortable shoes.
I have some great photos to show everybody when they get back.
Okay.
Two specifically. So if you guys are still with us on YouTube and you want to see, there's a picture of Jaime Lannister in, like, I swear to God, it's Stark gear. Like he's wearing the same outfit Jon Snow, like the armor Jon Snow is wearing. And I'm going to just show it right now. Like, forget about it. So this is Jaime Lannister is definitely wearing, you could see this breastplate or
It
the
almost
the
looks
neck
like what the
guard.
Hound wears, doesn't it? Sometimes, like
Yeah, but,
his shoulder
like,
and chest.
Right here in the center is normally where Jon Snow has the
Oh,
dire
yeah.
wolf, right? So that's that same piece. He is wearing northern armor. That's northern armor,
Jamie
John.
looks good in some northern armor there.
Right?
I'm
yeah.
surprised you're not throwing up in your mouth right now,
These
John.
are
Listen,
set.
Jamie,
set
listen.
photos.
Jamie is going into hot. Listen,
I'm
my
listening.
hatred for
I'm still
Jaime
listening.
my hatred for Jamie is coming down because he's in Winterfell, a place that the Lannisters are not welcome. So I can't really hate the guy. He's there to fight. You know, when he
Here's-
said that line, when he said that line of "I'm here to fight for the living," I tend to keep my promise. Like that's a lot. I mean, listen, I respect the guy now, man.
Hold on. Wait. Say what now?
There we go. I respect him.
Wow.
Oh.
You didn't record that. Too bad.
It's
I'll do it
actually
on the
live
podcast.
on YouTube.
We're still live
I'll
on
say
YouTube.
I'll
so.
say it next. I'll say it on Sunday whenever we get to Jamie Lannister. But
I want to point out Daenerys's outfit. We haven't seen her in this cute
Ooh,
little
that's so
fur number.
Oh, yeah.
Good outfit there.
But
That's
that's a
nice.
cool outfit on her. You can see Varys
You
up north.
watch, Trin. All the haters on Danny are gonna like her now because her and John did flippity flop.
Sure. This is cute. Davos is wearing sort of this green
this from?
velvet. This is set photos. These are official photos.
Okay.
Why is my Skype frozen?
I see it. Oh, you're frozen on your Skype. It
Yeah,
froze.
I can't show my screen.
So I have a Ice and FireCon question.
Do you want to do it live or do you want me to shut down?
Not really. I just want to know, like, are we gonna record there?
Yes.
Do I need to bring do I have to bring my mic and my laptop and everything?
No, because we'll be on spot. So I don't know. You're going to be on a panel. So the only time we're going to record is when we do our meet and greet, our Behind the Iron Throne meet and greet. We'll do that as a podcast also. So we'll be recording that also.
Because we can also, like I said, there's going to be a big time gap between the screening on Sunday and whatever the last panel is. We can throw in a special bonus episode, record it, and then save it for like maybe later. Like we could just pop it up on the, you know what I mean?
I
Like
forgot to
save,
mention-
archive it.
Shit.
We can archive it for like, so we release an episode and then we can archive it for later.
Well, I forgot to mention that we're going to be there for episode, 2 or 3?
Yeah, it's the it's the
3,
big
which
battle.
is the Battle of Winterfell.
And we can
Yeah.
record that night, the episode,
After. Okay.
because we're all going to be together.
I just want to know what
So-
if I need to bring in.
And we're not leaving until the next day, so
Right.
we'll have plenty of time.
So I'm not leaving until Sunday morning, and you guys aren't leaving until whatever time Sunday
No,
Sunday
you're leaving
morning.
Monday morning.
or
We're
Monday
leaving
morning.
Monday
Yeah,
morning. We're
Monday
all
morning.
leaving
Yeah.
Monday.
So the only thing you'll have to bring. So here's what I'm thinking. I'll bring in my second mixer. I just got to do some testing on it before we go. I'm bringing a shotgun microphone so that we can all talk into the same microphone, and that's all we may need. Now, I don't know if we're going to do it live. I can bring some of the gear to do it live. It's going to be really hard to do it live.
I don't think we should do live, Chris, because I think it's better we record it and then we can just like I said, we can archive it and then just like after the season ends, maybe plug it in, and this way it gives us a break.
Well, I'm talking about reviewing the episode after we see it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm like it's up to you if you want to do like I just don't know about the internet. Like if the internet's good, like that's the problem.
Oh yeah, that's a huge problem. But I think
Well,
I
we could
can
test the
do
internet,
it.
right? Can we test? We'll test the internet.
No, I think I can do it. Well, I have to think about it yet. But what I'm planning on doing is bringing a whole bunch of gear. You shouldn't have to bring microphones because I'm going to have a shotgun microphone pointed at the three of us. I don't know if Andrea's going or not. And then we just talk at that microphone. It'll pick us all up. That way I don't have to try to dynamically gate each microphone because we're going to be pressed for space.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have all kinds of gear.
Okay, and I
I
gotta.
don't. Yeah. The only thing I would say is if you want to interview anybody while you're there, bring your mic so you can plug it into your iPhone and you can do some recording that way.
Probably not. I think this year I'm just going to enjoy I'll take some pictures, but I'm probably not going to interview much this year.
So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, we could always do. I'm going to bring my camera, my 4K camera. We can always stop and say, "Hey, you, come here. What do you think about Game of Thrones? And are you excited about the season, whatever?" And I'll teach you how to run the camera if you want to shoot the camera, and I'll talk to people.
We could take turns too, right? Like
whatever.
There's
whatever
three of us, right? Plus,
I don't know.
Husband, right? So
right, Jacob. Yeah, I don't know if Andre's going. I haven't heard from her.
At this point, I'm assuming I'm going in the notion no, because I don't know what's going on with that's all I say with at this point. I'm like, if she comes on the podcast, yes, but I'm just assuming at this point everything's a no until I get if she comes on the podcast. If I'm just assuming everything's a no for me at this point with her.
Okay.
I think she's going through some stuff. I think so. It's.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, so we're pretty much done. I'm going to stop the live show. So thanks everyone for checking out live. A lot of awesome stuff coming down the pipeline. So, that's a very good. Okay, Mama Cheryl, I got some kind of email about FedEx coming, and I meant to ask you if that was real or if I was getting some kind of scam, because it happened to me before. So, I will. Thank you. That's awesome. Because I got an email saying that there was something from FedEx coming from Mama Cheryl, and I thought, what the hell? And I've gotten weird emails like that before from other people, but nothing ever arrived. So okay, cool. I'll keep an eye out. Thanks, I appreciate that. In the meantime, we're done live, so I'm gonna shut it down here. And thanks everyone. We'll see you guys next weekend.
See you guys.
Sirbeck.
Yes.
John Sirbeck says drunk Trin is the best Trin, and if you come to Ice and Fire Con,
I definitely can't wait for that. So are we done? 5? Are we?
Yeah, I'm gonna shut down. Did you know my PlayStation died, John?
Which one? The 4? Or
yeah, my
which
PS4.
One? Did you get on opening day too, or you got the original?
The original.
I have the same one. I got it on day it came out. It hasn't died yet. So
yeah, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what I gotta do the same thing. Anyway, all right, thanks guys. I'll see you. We'll see you guys next weekend. Remember, be there or be square. Game of Thrones. Be #BTIT. Shake and bake.